Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Konoha I Can Synthesize Ninjutsu. Chapter 76. Wang Li was slightly happy. My goal from the beginning was to become Anbu and mix up several big families. Then let Terumi Mei go out to win, and become his own power. All of this is developing in the expected direction, and the only thing that is inadequate is the water without Moon Orange. It's okay to join Anbu, but I refuse to be with her. Shui Wuyucheng, who was full of joy, instantly went black after hearing Wang Li's voice. Both eyes showed anger, and I wanted to bite them directly. Oh, why? Tell me your reason, Yagura said. Anbu is performing secret tasks, licking blood on the tip of a knife. And I don't want to work with the tail of a crane. Who did you say is the tail of the crane? Although I am not very good, I am also a ninja. I will definitely not slow down. Mizuki Orange with her hands on her hips, her face was full of anger. Okay, Liren, Orange has now awakened to Bing Dun. There is absolutely no problem with her strength. And with you by her side, she can also get better training. I have confirmed this point, you don't need to say more. Wang Li looked at Wushui Yucheng with a cold snort, then turned and left. Shui Wuyucheng hurriedly followed and kept talking beside Wang Li. Master Yagura, it's not appropriate to let him enter Anbu without finding out the identity of this kid. After Wang Li left, Songgang immediately gained confidence and gathered into the orange citrus Yagura said. The corners of Yagura's mouth rose slightly, and a cold smile appeared on his face. If he is not a spy, then there is nothing wrong with just completing the task. But if he is a spy, he will kill people from several big families anyway. We are not losing money here. Songgang raised his thumb all at once. Mizukage-sama is still thoughtful. Wang Li was sitting in his office with no love at this time, and Shui Wuyu Orange had been chirping in Wang Li's ear from the beginning, which was twice as annoying as Ghost Deng Shuiyu. Just say one more thing, I will let you know what cruelty is. Shui Wuyucheng was so scared that she backed away a few steps, then ran back, her mouth kept moving. The corners of Wang Li's mouth twitched constantly, wishing to punch him up. But Shui Wuyucheng did not speak, just moved her mouth. Just when Wang Li's anger was approaching the 0 point, Songgang walked over with a serious face and threw a scroll directly to Wang Li. This is your task today, and this is also your first task. Please show your ability. Wang Li slowly opened the scroll, and when he saw the name on the scroll, he couldn't help but frown. Dao Di Janchi. Yes, it belongs to your Teote family. Don't think he is only 10 years old. But after investigation, it was discovered that this kid is a full-fledged spy, so leave it to you to solve him. Wang Li sneered in his heart. When I was familiar with the role of Teote Liren, I already knew Teote Janchi. At the age of 10, he can skillfully perform various water-style ninjutsu, which is definitely a rare talent. Now Yagura wants Wang Li to kill Teote Janchi, but she wants to weaken the strength of Teote family and test Wang Li. As everyone knows, this is in the arms of Wang Li. Don't worry, I absolutely completed this task perfectly. From the Teote family, is it possible that you don't have any ideas? Seeing that Wang Li agreed without hesitation, Songgang immediately asked without any response. Wang Ligan laughed, and stared at Songgang in doubt. Master Mizukage has already determined that he is a spy, right? In that case, why should I ask more? Songgang was choked by Wang Li's words, and for a while he didn't know how to refute it. Very good. It's good to have this consciousness. Watching Songgang leave, Wang Li sneered. It has never been found that the progress is so smooth, everything is carried out according to the script. Shui Wuyucheng walked over worriedly, and said in a low voice, it's okay, after all, it's your tribe. Go, whether you are qualified to be my teammate depends on your performance today. Wang Li sneered in his heart. Uchiha Itachi almost slaughtered the Uchiha clan for the sake of the village. And Wang Li just killed a few people who didn't know each other, so what was the psychological burden? Wang Li and Shui Wuyucheng came to the gate of Teote family to wait. Although Songgang's intelligence has the only way to build a peach land every day. But the purpose of Wang Li's trip was not to kill Teote Janchi, but to increase chaos. Therefore, it must not be surreptitiously killed, but must be killed in front of everyone. Liren, isn't it a bit inappropriate at the gate of the Teote family? Shui Wuyucheng said anxiously. What do you know, this is his only way. If we complete the task on the first day, Master Mizukage shouldn't look at us with admiration. Also, as Anbu, don't call my name when performing tasks outside. Shui Wuyucheng lowered her head and let out a soft, oh, but her eyes were still full of doubts. People are back, put on a mask. Looking at the person in the photo, Wang Li couldn't help but raise his mouth slightly. What made Wang Li most happy was not Teote Jianqi's return, but the one beside him was Teote Jianqi's father, the patriarch of Teote family, Teote Guiran. If he kills his son next to Teote Guiran, this anger will definitely detonate. There are ghosts in the Peach Land, why don't we just forget it today? Forget it. Why forget it? Wait for me to entangle the ghost of Teote, you and my water body will go to kill Teote Jianqi, and fight for one blow. Seeing Wang Li's indisputable appearance, Shui Wuyucheng hesitated for a moment and nodded slightly. Dao Dijian approached step by step, and Shui Wuyu Orange's heart beat rapidly. Although he had taken the first kill before, Shui Wuyu Orange still resisted the killing. But after knowing that Dao Ji Jianji was a spy, a murderous aura suddenly ignited in his body. You go first, I will immediately stop the Teote ghost. Shui Wuyucheng nodded slightly, and then rushed over without hesitation. The moment Mizuki Orange appeared, Teote Guiran immediately reacted, taking out kunai from the ninja bag. But when he saw Anbu's unique mask, he couldn't help but frown. Anbu, are you finally looking for our Taoji family? Yagura, you are too much. As soon as the voice fell, the ghost man rushed towards Shui Wuyu Orange with Ku Wu Chao. Shui Wuyu Orange's heart was beating rapidly, but she ignored Teote Guiran at all, and rushed straight towards Teote Jianqi. Your goal is to build times. You don't take me too seriously. If the dragon touches the scales, it will die. And Teote Jianqi is the reverse scale of Teote Guiran. Seeing Teote Guiran's Kuwu was about to touch Shui Wuyu Orange, suddenly a huge water dragon rushed out and knocked it into flight in an instant. He even crashed the surrounding wall building behind him. You count as an assassination. Teote Guiran looked at Wang Li angrily, his eyes were about to burst into flames. Naturally, Shui Wuyu Orange would not let go of this great opportunity, and rushed straight towards Dao Di Jianqi. It seems that I want to die, so I can't be polite. Dao Di Jianqi said that his hands began to quickly seal, and suddenly several water people appeared beside him, who looked exactly the same as Dao Di Jianqi. However, Dao Di Jianqi didn't stop Jayan because of this, his hands moved quickly again, and a water dragon appeared out of thin air, constantly circling around him. Wang Li couldn't help but frown. Sure enough, this Dao Di Jianqi is a genius, but he is 10 years old, and Jayan is so fast. If you give him a little more time, he is definitely a super master. But Mizuki Orange is not a vase either. With his hands folded, a burst of cold air gradually appeared on his body, and the water dragon was freezing at a speed visible to the naked eye. It's being done. When did the Mizuki family take refuge in the 4th generation? Teote Guiran suddenly shouted anxiously, and wanted to save his son when he got up. You can't go, your opponent is me. Wang Li stood calmly, completely unlike a 12-year-old kid. At this time, Dao Di Guiran snorted coldly and drew out a big knife behind his back. Since you want to die, I will give you a ride. Seeing Teote Ghost rushing over, Wang Li smiled disapprovingly. If you fight against other ninjutsu, Wang Li will still be afraid of exposing himself, but if it is physique, then you can let go of the battle. Wang Li charged up and punched the ghost in Teote. The ghost of Teote, who had not taken it seriously, suddenly felt a dangerous aura on the face, and subconsciously moved away. Boom! The powerful fist wind instantly tore Teote Guiran's clothes, and the building behind him collapsed. And there are deep ravines on the ground. Is there really a kid under this mask, or is it just a little shorter? Dao Di Guiran swallowed, never daring to despise Wang Li again. As for Teote Jianqi, there is no need to worry at all. The name genius is not just shouting but has the strength of genius. Little devil, are you sure that that little devil will deal with Jianqi? Are you too contemptuous of the word genius? Teote Guiran sneered, not at all anxious before. Genius, too outdated, others call me ghosts. Dao Di Guiran trembled all over. It was not because of Wang Li's words that were shocked, but his voice. From the beginning of the development of Ren, there will be a period of voice change. The immature voice before the period of voice change cannot be imitated by a person who changes his voice no matter how powerful it is. And the kid in front of him is not a master of voice changer. It's a real child. Then the kid in front of him, maybe he is really a ghost as he said. It's really necessary for you to do this. It's really worthwhile to work for Yagura. Why not come to our Teote family? No one will dare to neglect you in the future. Are you finished? Let's continue playing when you are finished, Wang Li said, raising his hands, looking eager to try. One of Wang Li's goals in coming to the water country is to exercise his combat capabilities. And Teote Guiran is the kind of ninja with strong melee combat ability. It is definitely a battle rally not to be missed. If that's the case, then die. Teote Guiran snorted coldly, and ran towards Wang Li with his mobile phone and his knife, the sword in his hand being swung by the wind. The broadsword has a long attack distance and high attack damage, but every time it is swung out, there is always a limit that needs to be paused. At first, Wang Li was suppressed very crippled, but after he became familiar with the attacking rhythm, he gradually became indifferent. For a while, the Dao Di Guiran began to sweat on his forehead. The kid in front of him reacted quite tenderly at first, but after a few rounds, he couldn't completely suppress the opponent today. He even fought back several times and was almost hit. But Momoji Guiran was not in a hurry. Because this is at the gate of the Teote family, according to my own expectations, within 10 seconds, the Teote family will come out. Then the two little ghosts in front of them will be besieged and killed. Since you can't use it for yourself, then completely obliterate it. Suddenly Wang Li retreated sharply, and then stretched out. It seems that it's almost the same, and this game should be over. Teote Guiran glanced at Wang Li inexplicably, suddenly realized something, and hurriedly looked at Teote Janji. At this time Dao Di Janji completely suppressed the Shui Wuyu Orange. Although Shui Wuyu Orange has the limit of blood and ice escape, its combat experience is obviously insufficient. And a few times because of hesitation, the best opportunity was missed. And Teote Janji is the genius of the Teote family, and the combat capability is absolutely first class. At this moment, a column of water slowly rose, gradually becoming a person. Take a closer look and see who Wang Li is. Janji, be careful behind and run. Teote Guiran shouted like crazy, exhausted all his strength, and rushed over quickly. Too slow. Wang Li sneered, picked up Kuwu and directly stabbed Teote Janji's heart. Sorry, you must die this time, Wang Li said, stabbing several times before giving up. Dao Di Janji looked at Wang Li unwillingly, and he knew that he would have a bright future. But he died here. It feels good to stab someone in the back, no wonder Itachi and Kakashi like this trick. No, I want you to die. I want you to die. Seeing Momochi Kenji fell in a pool of blood, the father Momochi Guiran went crazy. At this time, the Teote family ran out in a swarm. Seeing this scene in front of me, I just stayed. In front of the Teote family, in front of the patriarch of the Teote family, killed his son. No matter who the opponent is, this is an endless situation. Kill me. Kill these two boys. No, catch alive. I want them to survive but not to die. Wang Li smiled disapprovingly, and patted Shui Wuyucheng's shoulder lightly. Gone. Shui Wuyu Orange reacted all of a sudden. Teote Guiran's strength Shui Wuyucheng is clear. When he fought Wang Li just now, absolutely half of his strength was useless. Because he is very confident. But now Teote Guiran is mad. Even if Yagura is here, I am afraid that I will evade him for the time being. Wang Li watched Shui Wuyucheng leave, his hands quickly sealed, and a water dragon appeared again. Water style. Water dragon bomb technique. The water dragon raged in the crowd, and Dao Di Guiran picked up a big knife, and cut down the water dragon's head directly. But when the water receded, Wang Li could no longer be seen. Patriarch, look at the ground. Teote Guiran ran over quickly, and saw a scroll on the ground with photos of Teote Janji and so on. It was Songgang's task scroll for Wang Li. For a while, Teote Guiran's hand holding the scroll trembled, and his teeth made a creaking sound. Yagura, my Peach Land clan is at odds with you. Wang Li and Shui Wuyucheng returned to the stronghold. When Shui Wuyu's eyes looked at Wang Li obviously changed. Both eyes kept shining light. Liren, I didn't expect you to be so strong. Even the patriarch of the Teote family didn't keep you. Please teach me ninjutsu. I reject. Why? We are the best teammates, the combination is unprecedentedly strong. Let me refuse. The two men initiated a heated discussion on this matter. Oh, you are back so soon. Have you figured out Teote Ji's trajectory? Seeing the two sitting in the stronghold, Songgang sneered and walked up. Shui Wuyucheng immediately raised her head proudly, her face full of pride. Our task has been completed. Songgang was stunned for a moment. Generally speaking, the ninja will figure out the trajectory of the subject's life habits and actions before embarking on an assassination mission. Although there are data on it, there will always be a slight deviation in the data from reality. Only by seeing it truly, can you truly understand the situation of the other party. Increase the chance of successful assassination. Wang Li and Shui Wuyucheng received the task, but within a few hours, they would not believe how successful Songgang was assassinated. It's not finished before it's finished, there is no need to tell such a lie. We really succeeded in the assassination, and we still killed him in front of Teote Guiran at the gate of Teote family. The corners of Songgang's mouth twitched continuously. At the beginning, he was still hesitating whether to misunderstand the two. After all, it was not without the chance that the assassination succeeded. But if it were to be killed in front of Teote ghosts at the gate of Teote family, that would definitely be a fantasy. No matter whether it can be killed or not. As long as it is a shinobu whose head has not been kicked by a donkey, he will never do this. Okay, don't make this kind of joke, your time is very tight, you only have less than 3 days. Let's go and see the life track of Teote Ji with your own eyes. Songgang shook his head and was about to leave, when Yagura suddenly ran out angrily. Did you kill Teote Ji? Seeing the anger on Yagura's face, the arrogant Shui Wuyu Orange immediately slammed it down and hid directly behind Wang Li. Seeing this, Wang Li couldn't help but shook his head. Yes, it was killed by us just now. Songgang was taken aback. Just now he thought the two were joking, but he didn't expect that he actually did it. And Yagura has also got the information. But if the previous sentence is true, then the sentence below Shui Wuyucheng directly made Songgang jump in shock. Where did you kill it? Who did you kill in front of you? On his only way, there is indeed an idler beside him. Citrus Yagura's mouth twitched, and he took out a scroll and patted it on the table. Your so-called only way is the gate of the Teote family, your so-called idler is the patriarch of the Teote family. I am very curious now, how did you succeed in killing? Songgang tremblingly took up the scroll. Although the scroll was soaked in water, the words on it were faintly visible. But it was those words that caused Songgang to collapse directly to the ground. Songgang couldn't say anything suddenly. Then we killed the wrong thing. Wang Li showed no reaction on his face looked unusually calm. You killed it right, but the location of the killing was wrong. The current situation is that the ghosts of the Peach Land come to me and ask me to hand over the two murderers, otherwise the Mizukage office will be demolished. What? Then what should we do? Shui Wuyucheng was so scared that her hands trembled. Although it is said that the killer is always killing, but to this day, I always feel a little scared. Then Mizukage-sama, what are your thoughts? Wang Li's face was still very calm, his eyes fixed on Yagura without fear. My idea is that I have no idea. If they really demolish, then I will demolish their home first. Songgang, who had been silly on the side, immediately became anxious when he heard this. Master Mizukage, this can't be done. The Daoji family is strong, and if we really want to fight, we will lose a lot. Or we should hand over the two of them. Why do you want to hand it in? The two of them have completed the task and should be rewarded. How can they hand it in? Yagura grinned disapprovingly. Crazy, you are all crazy. It's not that they are crazy, but that the Daoji family is too arrogant. They shot their heads. Since they are coming to demolish Mizukage's office, I will demolish them first. Citrus Orange Yagura snorted coldly, her eyes full of killing intent. Watching Yagura and Songgang leave, Wang Li's mouth began to rise. If it was Yagura's own will, Wang Li and Mizuki Orange would definitely be handed over for temporary peace. But at this time Yagura has been controlled by Uchiha Obito. The purpose of Uchiha Obito is to shout that Kurigakure is more chaotic. Come report Uchiha Obito's hatred. Therefore, seeing the troubles of the Teote family, Yagura's heart was already happy at this time. I also appreciate Wang Li's ability very much. It was because of this that Wang Li sat calmly, otherwise he would have ran away long ago. Orange, do you want to go and see the ghost of Teote now? Shui Wuyu Orange was taken aback by Wang Li's amazing idea. Killing other people's sons, and then strolling in front of them, this is the rhythm of maddening people. But when Shui Wuyucheng saw Wang Li's firm eyes, she nodded awkwardly. Well, we can only take a look from a distance. Wang Li and Shui Wuyucheng came to a forest outside the Mizukage office building. At this time, the Mizukage office building is already tightly surrounded by 3 floors inside and outside 3 floors. And the citrus fruit Yagura is at the gate, confronting the ghost of the Peach Land. Master Mizukage, please be sure to hand over those 2 assassins, otherwise our Taoji family will never end with you. Kochi Yagura smiled disapprovingly, and shrugged his shoulders indifferently. I said, there are no 2 people in Anbu. Maybe they were spies sent by other villages. Don't think we are all idiots, don't hand it over today, don't blame me for being impolite. I'm going to see how you are so unkind. Kotochio Yagura clasped her chest with her hands in her arms and didn't mean to give in at all. You don't think you can do whatever you want by becoming a Mizukage. When I became Mizukage, I can do whatever I want. If you have the ability, you can find out the 2 who assassinated your son, and trouble me again. Don't think I'm a bully. Asshole, where can I find it now? You must have hidden the person. Teote Guiran was halfway talking, and suddenly his eyes lit up. Wait, people are there. Kochi Yagura and the others turned their heads and found that Wang Li and Mizuki Orange were standing leisurely on a tree not far away. And both of them are wearing Anbu masks. Songgang's heart twitched, and he almost sat down. The Teote Guiran was even more angry, drew out the big knife behind his back, and shouted behind him. If you see it, this is how Mizukage takes care of us. If we continue, I don't know whose child will be next, so we still need to be silent. No need. Let them pay their debts today. Eye for eye. Eye for eye. ... For a time, there were roars, and Yagura's momentum was also weakened by several points. Wang Li smiled triumphantly. All I want is chaos. Originally, the major families still wanted to stay out of the matter, thinking that the fire would not burn themselves. Even in the face of a little suppression, I resisted sending it. But now it is no longer a suppression, but is ready to be completely eradicated. Who can continue to hide when it is alive or dead? And Wang Li was ready to take this opportunity to push the Taoji family into desperation, and Terumi Mei appeared perfectly. Now only one point is needed. Although it seems that the Teote family is screaming fiercely, but it hasn't really reached the point of outbreak. In this situation, it is extremely likely that it will be handed over to Yagura, leaving it at the disposal of the ghosts. After all, Yagura is going to use means to completely dismantle Kurigakure, not really head-on. This will only unite the major families, and it will be more difficult to do things in the future. I don't order anything, run away, or you'll be dead. Shui Wuyucheng pulled Wang Li's arm with an anxious expression on his face. Wang Li didn't mean to leave at all. Instead, he lifted a little mask and put his hand on his mouth. Call out. Although the long howling was not loud, everyone in the room heard it. But at this time, both sides have no intention of paying attention to the source of this long howling. But at this moment, a ninja on Yagura's side began to show fear in his eyes. With trembling hands, he drew Kuwu out. What are you doing? What do you want to do to me? Kuwu flew out and directly hit the shoulder of a Teote family. Not good. What a bad thing. Songgang's pupils shrank sharply. It was just a dispute before, and when the time comes to retreat, it will be over. But if someone does it, it's not a dispute. It's war. Mizukage is going to destroy our Teote family, don't think about it anymore, resist. Yagura snorted angrily, and immediately shouted, suppress these guys. Both sides took out their weapons for a time, and the gunpowder was completely ignited. How could this be? We didn't kill Ren, just tell them clearly. Shui Wuyucheng looked at everything in front of her in confusion. I thought that killing one person would save Kurigakure dozens, or even hundreds. But Shui Wuyucheng found herself wrong. Wang Li was happy in his heart. He didn't expect it to go so smoothly, but he used a prefabricated illusion technique to completely ignite the gunpowder. And although the Momoji family are powerful, how can they be Mizukage's opponents? When the time comes, you can only rely on Terumi Mei after losing. Well, the next step is to steal time. Ding dong. Identify ninjutsu, water style, water barrier. Ding dong. Recognize ninjutsu, water style, water breakthrough. Ding dong. Identify ninjutsu, water style, wave rush. Listening to the sound of the system continuously popping out, Wang Li was already happy. It took so much thought and setbacks just for this moment. With enough ninjutsu, he has more options for synthesis. In the future, you can also be prepared and prepared, there is no need to synthesize during the battle, which greatly reduces the risk. Ding dong. Trigger selection mission. 1. Help Yagura cope with the Teote family. Reward. Grandmaster of Advanced Speed. 2. Help Teote Guirin deal with Mizukage's subordinates. Reward. Grandmaster of Advanced Illusion. Looking at these two options, Wang Li couldn't help but frown. Illusory specialization was Wang Li's initial vision. After all, he was invisible to killing people with illusion, and he was handsome to think about it. But at this time, it just forced the Teote family back, and there are still many things to do. If you openly rebelled against Kochi Yagura, Teote Guirin wouldn't appreciate it, but the next task might be impossible to execute. Fortunately, the Advanced Speed Grandmaster is also good. As long as the speed is fast enough, others can't catch up. Then it can be more dominant in battle. With upper physical skills, it is undoubtedly a huge improvement. I choose 1. As Wang Li finished his choice, he suddenly felt that the world was spinning around him. But within a second, Wang Li recovered. The surrounding environment seemed to be much slower than before, and the ninjas could clearly see every move. Wang Li took out Kumu and stood up. The Shui Wuyu orange on one side anxiously grabbed Wang Li. What do you want to do? The chaos below is so messy, no matter how powerful you are, it is difficult to guarantee that you will not get hurt. Besides, you killed Teote Janshi, and Teote Guirin will definitely not let you go after going down. This war started because of me. I can't just hide, I have to fight. Your strength is too weak, just wait here. As soon as Wang Li's voice fell, he jumped out like flying. Before Shui Wuyucheng could react, she found that Wang Li was missing. She turned her head to see that Wang Li had already rushed into the battlefield. The speed is so fast, and I didn't expect to hide my strength. I really doubt that the man who was studying with me at the time was this Teote Liren. Wang Li entered the battlefield, but it was only on the edge of the battlefield. As for the center of the battlefield, Wang Li did not dare to enter. There is the real meat grinder. Unless you have the strength and combat awareness of the elite Jonin, you can only die. It's better to be directly on the periphery and slowly familiarize yourself with the combat routines. At this time, Wang Li possessed the Grandmaster of Advanced Physical Skills and the Grandmaster of Advanced Speed, although his strength had not yet fully reached Jonin. But the speed and physical skills are much better than some Jonin. The ninjas on the periphery, but Chunin or even Genin, are only eligible to be slaughtered when they meet Wang Lina. This kid is amazing, where did he come out? Such a fast speed, such a strong physical skill, definitely not a nameless person, first concentrate on killing him. Although Wang Li was focused on the periphery. However, relying on speed, he avoided the siege time and time again, but instead killed several people. You want to kill me at such a slow speed? It's too naive, right? Wang Li smiled triumphantly. At this moment, Wang Li suddenly felt a murderous attack, and suddenly all the hairs on Wang Li's body stood up. Boy, give back my son's life. Wang Li suddenly became energetic. Because of time, Wang Li didn't fight the Teote Guirin well before. Although knowing that Teote Guirin must hide his strength, he has also been greatly improved. It's really the most suitable to have a master like Teote Guirin to brush up his proficiency. Wang Li hurriedly threw away the Chunin around him, and rushed towards the ghost of Teote. Water style, moisture body technique. For a while, 2 water bodies appeared beside Wang Li. Oh, I didn't expect to obtain a high-level speed grandmaster, and the link printing speed has also increased. It seems that 6 seals per second is not a dream. Suddenly, Wang Li's confidence increased greatly, and the 3 of them, together with the water body, kept revolving around Teote Guirin. Oh, unexpectedly, in just a few hours, your speed could reach this point. Teote Guirin snorted coldly. Although Wang Li became stronger, he completely aroused Teote Guiren's fighting spirit, and he wielded a large sword in both hands. A fast knife, you can rely on skill to reduce the rigidity that is unique to the big knife to a minimum. No wonder you can become a patriarch. Wang Li thought in surprise, but he didn't even mean to escape. Because Wang Li not only increases speed, but also countless water-style ninjutsu. In order not to reveal any flaws, I didn't dare to use other ninjutsu for fear that others would doubt his identity. But just now, Wang Li collected a lot of water-style ninjutsu at once, and now he can use it unscrupulously. Water style, Great Waterfall Technique, Water style, Water Horn Technique, Water style, Water Tooth Bomb Technique. The three avatars performed three ninjutsu respectively, and at the same time rushed towards Momoji Guiren. How is it possible that there is such a strong chakra at a young age, and it seems that you must be killed today? Teote Guiren's eyes became solemn. Then he held the sword firmly with both hands, and the chakra in his body kept accumulating on the sword. For a while, the knife was covered with a light film. And every time Teote Guiren cut down, there were bursts of cracks in the air. You can even vaguely see the air being split. Wind attribute blesses weapons. This trick was taught by Sarutobi Asuma to Uzumaki Naruto, which can increase the sharpness and destructive power of the weapon and the range of attack. Originally, Wang Li was still ready to head on, but now he could only rely on his own speed to wander around. With three waters constantly harassing water style, Teote Guiren suddenly slowed down, but Wang Li kept harassing him. Teote Guiren has never been seen before, and most people use water bodies to confuse the opponent's sight. But like Wang Li, it was the first time I saw someone using ninjutsu to harass him. After all, it takes a lot of chakra to continuously release ninjutsu, which consumes a lot of money. Boy, have the ability to be tough. Your brain is sick, why should I act against your advantage? I'm not stupid. Wang Li smiled proudly. Okay, if that's the case, don't blame me. Teote Guiren snorted coldly, and shouted behind him, brothers, we will kill this kid today. At a time, several ninjas from the Teote family ran over. Wang Li was dumbfounded. His advantage is to have a lot of chakra, and changeable ninjutsu. The advantages of Teote Guiren are also obvious. He is the patriarch of the Teote family, and the Teote family ninja listened to him, almost referring to where to fight. Now Wang Li also felt the superiority of Teote Guiren. He was surrounded by several people at once, and even his actions became difficult. Moreover, the opponents were almost all jonin, and Wang Li couldn't breathe under the pressure of a few big swords. Master Mizukage, come and help. Citrus Yagura's mouth twitched, originally wanting to watch Wang Li die. After all, these things were caused by him, and if Wang Li died, the anger of the Teote family would fade a lot. But now Wang Liko called for help, and Yagura had no choice but to help. After all, Wang Li belongs to Anbu and belongs to Yagura's subordinates. If you don't come to the rescue, it will be difficult to lead the team in the future. Kid, wait, here we are. Citrus Yagura roared and ran over with several jonin to join the battle. Seeing several people entangled together, Wang Li hurriedly evacuated. Wang Li's goal is very clear: stay away from the center of the meat grinder and harvest some small heads on the periphery. Seeing Wang Li fleeing, Yagura almost vomited blood. I came to help, but Wang Li ran away by himself. That kid ran away, everyone catch up. As soon as Wang Li ran away, Teote Guiren directly chased after him. What kind of hatred or resentment? It is also Master Mizukage's task to kill your son. Go find him. Boy, you finally admit it, Yagura, what else can you say? Citrus Yagura spit out another mouthful of blood, but Wang Li was so unreliable that he would betray himself directly. Liren, run, I'll stop the ghost in the peach field. Yagura sneered. Since Wang Li betrayed him, he wouldn't mind cheating him. Liren, Taudeliren, it turned out to be you, kid. I should have killed you at the beginning, or my son won't die. Teote Guiren roared more loudly, and his fighting spirit was stronger. It ignited completely. Okay, Master Mizukage, I'll leave it to you. Wang Li shrugged his shoulders indifferently. Unexpectedly, some old accounts were pulled out, but it had nothing to do with Wang Li. When the mission is over, the character of Teote Liren will disappear completely. As Wang Li ran, he kept letting the water body release ninjutsu. But Teote Guiran spotted Wang Li, and he seemed to be immortal. I saw Wang Li running in front, followed by a group of people from the Teote family, and behind it was a group of people led by Citrus Yagura. The center of the meat grinder kept moving with Wang Li. Originally, the ninja who only wanted to fight soy sauce on the periphery, because of Wang Li's appearance, took away his life in an instant. That kid is here, everyone, run away. Why are you running this way? Wang Li looked at the chasing crowd behind him, and couldn't help frowning. The clay figurine still has a 3-point temper, let alone Wang Li. After being chased for so long, my temper suddenly came up. Since you all want to die, come on. For a time, Wang Li's 3 moisture bodies quickly formed seals, and the seals of the 3 moisture bodies were exactly the same. Water style. Water dragon bomb technique. At a time, 3 water dragons rose from the ground, raging in the crowd. Wherever the water dragon passes, someone must mourn and die. Is this kid still a human? Operate 3 water dragons at the same time, and this water dragon seems to be different from usual, it seems to have a smell of fairy art. How amazing is this kid's strength? Patriarch, is this kid still chasing? What to chase after? The best time to kill him is before graduation. If you want to kill him in this situation, you will definitely catch up with our Teote clan. Teote Guiran gave Wang Li a vicious look. Dao Di Liren, I remember you. For a while, the members of the Taoji family turned their heads and met with Yagura. Wang Li was happy and leisurely, and continued to run back to Shui Wuyucheng. Shui Wuyucheng looked at Wang Li helplessly. Why are you going down here? You will come up again after a while, but the water dragon bomb technique is really handsome just now, can you teach me? Just forget it. It wasn't that Wang Li was unwilling to teach Shui Wuyu Orange, but that this trick was too much for chakra. And the effect is definitely not so obvious. Wang Li has a sage body, and the ninjutsu he releases has a touch of celestial charm. And the reason why I was able to kill so many just now was because there were too many opponents, and they were still gathered together. You are really not cute at all, and you will definitely not find a girlfriend in the future. Shui Wuyucheng snorted coldly, turning her head with her arms around her chest and turning her head to ignore Wang Li. Wang Li was also happy and leisurely. In the battle, the Teote family gradually revealed its defeat. After all, it is very impractical for a family to challenge a country. The Teote family can last so long, it also proves how powerful its family is. Let's go, we are not Yagura's opponent. Want to go? Is it so easy? Kill all of me without leaving a living. Citrus Yagura has long wanted to do something with the Momoji family, but has never been able to find an excuse. Although it was too direct this time, the goal was achieved. The Teote family completely retreated, and Yagura came to Wang Li, glaring at Wang Li. Why did you show up? Do you know how much trouble this has caused us? Yes, otherwise this time it will definitely be resolved peacefully. Songgang also took this opportunity to confide his dissatisfaction. Isn't that good, you say, Lord Mizukage? Citrus Yagura was shocked, and a smirk appeared on his face. I will not pursue you this time, but I will give you a task to pursue the remnants of the Teote family. Wang Li shook his head quickly and said, I don't recommend chasing. Wang Li's initial goal was to push the Taoji family into desperation, and then let them take refuge in Terumi Mei, instead of completely destroying the Teote family. And now Wang Li must buy time for Terumi Mei. Why don't you chase it? Is it possible that you still have your heart in the Teote family? Songgang said strangely. Have you ever heard a saying called the Porco Mo chase? Now to chase the Teote family is absolutely desperate with us, who will be responsible for the huge losses. And it does not rule out that the Teote family has any big killers. Let me lead me, I can only say that I can't do it. Citrus Tangerine Yagura felt his chin and thought, then nodded slightly. It makes sense, but you must act within today. Songgang will cooperate with you at that time. Wang Li nodded slightly. If Terumi Mei can't win over the Taoji family in half a day, then it doesn't deserve to be a 5th Mizukage. There is no need for Wang Li to follow the plot to support an idiot. Okay, but what if Songgang doesn't listen to me? Citrus Yagura slowly turned her head and looked at Songgang with sharp eyes. Songgang's heart was shocked. I was very puzzled as to why I had been with Yagura for so long, but the Teote Liren who had just appeared was not favored. Moreover, a war can be avoided by only surrendering the Teote Liren several times, but Yagura did not implement it, but chose war instead. That fellow Yagura wants our Taoji family to die. Teote Liren returned to the family, unwillingly patted the table. The whole table fell apart suddenly. The first thing we have to consider for the patriarch is what to do next. Yagura will definitely not let our family go. It's time to consider moving. Dao Di Guiran sat down directly on the chair, his eyebrows frowned into Sichuan. First of all, send the seeds out and divide them into 4 waves to go to other countries. As long as the seeds are still alive, our Teote family will not be considered dead. So what about the rest? The rest. Teote Guiran was silent. If all the people of the tribe migrate together, then Yagura will definitely intercept them, and even one of them will not even want to leave at that time. Just when Teote Guiran frowned and didn't know how to explain, suddenly someone rushed in and shouted, "Patriarch, someone is looking for you outside." "Look for me. Someone dare to come to me now. I want to see who it is." The Teote Guiran flicked his sleeves and walked directly outside. "Woman, Terumi Mei, why are you looking for me?" Terumi Mei smiled slightly, and looked at the ghost of Teote triumphantly. "I'm here to save your Teote family." Momochi Guiran was shocked, and what he cares most about now is the life and death of the Momochi family, and what Terumi Mei said made him unable to refuse. "You come to save me. What do you rely on to save me?" Terumi Mei smiled slightly, knowing that Momochi Guiran would say that for a long time. So. As soon as Terumi Mei's voice fell, she suddenly appeared behind Momochi Guiran, with a bitterness on Momochi Guiran's neck. Momochi Guiran was shocked. Although there are some careless elements, Terumi Mei's speed is absolutely top-notch. Your strength is indeed okay, but do you think personal strength is useful when facing Mizukage? Terumi Mei smiled again, put kunai back into the ninja bag, and then patted with both hands. For a time, countless ninjas jumped out. Momochi Guiran smiled on his face, and then immediately hid himself, looking at Terumi Mei calmly. Then what do I have to pay? This is what Momochi Guiran is most concerned about now. If Terumi Mei wants to annex the Momochi family will completely become an affiliate of Terumi Mei. So Teote Guiran is willing to fight to death on the battlefield and fight for that little opportunity. My request is very simple, that is, when we have enough power, we can overthrow the tyranny of Citrus Yagura together. It's just that simple. Momochi Guiran looked at Terumi Mei in disbelief. For Momochi Guiran, this request was completely different. Because Yagura is completely immortal now with Citrus Yagura, dealing with Citrus Yagura is simply desperate for the ghosts of Teote. Otherwise, I want allies, not subordinates. What about your decision? Terumi Mei looked at Momochi Guiran fondly, waiting for his reply. Okay, I promised. As long as I can get through this, my Teote family will let you do it. Good. The two high-five each other, and since then they have reached an alliance. Suddenly a voice came over, and everyone turned their heads to look around, only to see Anbu densely on the treetops. What a good thing, after we agreed. Sure enough, I wouldn't let us go, but now I have an ally, Teote Liren, you will definitely die here today. Wang Li smiled helplessly, but now that he is in a state of opposition, Wang Li can't show it too clearly, otherwise the Anbu around him would immediately turn his gun to kill himself. Don't keep one, kill me. For a time, dozens of Anbu rushed towards the ghost of Teote like flying. Terumi Mei smiled at Wang Li and then joined the battle. It's all your idea. Now that Terumi Mei and Momochi Guiran join forces, our loss is even greater. Wang Li glanced at Songgang disapprovingly, then took out Kuwuwu's disdain and said, you have time to complain, it's better to do it as soon as possible. Songgang looked at Wang Li dissatisfiedly. At this time, Wang Lichong was at the forefront, and Songgang had no reason to blame Wang Li, so he could only bite the bullet and follow. I'm going to deal with Terumi Mei, you're going to deal with the ghosts of Taote Ji. After Wang Li said that he would not give Songgang any time to speak, he immediately rushed towards Terumi Mei. Terumi Mei nodded knowingly when he saw Wang Li rushing forward, then his hands began to seal. Boil style, skillful fog technique. A thick mist spit out from Terumi Mei's mouth and directly blocked Wang Li's path. I'm going. Don't be so serious, it won't be enough for a few lives to run into this thing. Wang Li knows the power of boil style very well. As long as it touches one point, it will burn off a layer of skin. Although not as powerful as Amaterasu, the damage is definitely not much worse. But Terumi Mei's meaning Wang Li is very clear. That is to act as true as possible, so as to deceive everyone, and not to lose the truth. Water style. Moisture body technique. The water body plunged into the mist one by one, and instantly turned into water at the moment of touching it. And the water evaporates again, raising a larger mist. The mist rose for a few seconds, and then slowly disappeared, but when the mist disappeared, Wang Li also disappeared out of thin air. Oh, this kid is a lot better than before. It seems that I have to be serious too. Terumi Mei smiled slightly, with an expression of admiration on his face. However, Terumi Mei did not stop on her hands, and the mist around her hands gradually increased. Water style. Mist shinobi technique. Since Wang Li could not be found, he simply hid himself. And this mist shinobi technique is not only effective for Terumi Mei, the huge fog hides everyone. The Momoji family is good at using broadswords in close combat. With the cooperation of dense fog, you can better hide yourself and get closer to the enemy. The people in Anbu are also very familiar with the mist shinobi technique, and they reacted instantly, using the 3-3 system to get close to each other and take care of each other. And there was only one person who was a little dazed by mist shinobi, and that was Wang Li. It's this nasty mist shinobi technique again. When Wang Li was looking for someone else's figure in the thick fog, he suddenly put one hand around Wang Li's neck. I didn't expect you to be very good, and you would destroy the Teote family so quickly. Wang Li breathed a sigh of relief, and he knew that it was Terumi Mei without guessing. Be careful to be found. Terumi Mei hurriedly let go, then akimbo her hips unhappily. I have secretly used the barrier here, and the voice can't be heard. Terumi Mei said, pointing around, only to see a transparent film covering the two of them less than 1 meter away. Why come to me suddenly? I can't reveal my identity now. Now that there is an enchantment, Wang Li doesn't have to continue to pretend. He looks at Terumi Mei with a full face. Why did Orange also enter Anbu? Are you a threat to us? For a while, Terumi Mei became serious. Wang Li laughed awkwardly. Shui Wuyucheng had no choice but to enter Anbu, but Wang Li was reluctant to explain. After all, sometimes people are not willing to listen to explanations. You ask this now, why don't you think about your subordinates by accident? Don't accidentally hurt Orange. Although her figure is easy to see, who can see her figure in this thick fog? Wang Li's words directly silenced Terumi Mei, and stared at Wang Li. You kid, this is the revenge of the previous temptation. Okay, you and I are clear, and I hope to cooperate well next. Terumi Mei said, patted hard with both hands, and the surrounding barrier exploded like a bubble. Terumi Mei shouted to the surroundings, this Teote Liren is here, everyone come and help. As soon as the voice fell, several figures jumped in front of Wang Li. Only the silhouette of the opponent can be seen in the thick fog. However, from the shadow of the shadow, everyone has a big sword, obviously all of them belong to the Teote family. Wang Li smiled slightly. Unexpectedly, Terumi Mei, a woman who was so careful, would retaliate against herself so soon. But since he was in the thick fog, Wang Li could secretly use other ninjutsu. Terumi Mei did a great job, these people really came here. Wang Li said that his hands began to form a seal, and a watery body rose from the side, and then quickly swelled. Boom! The violent explosion instantly blew up several members of the Teote family, and fell to the ground without knowing their life or death. Terumi Mei heard the sound and shook her head helplessly. Boy, you have a strong heart for revenge, I can think about it when you complete the task completely. Terumi Mei said, the shyness flashed past her face. The battle suddenly entered a stalemate, and no one on both sides could help. However, the stalemate in group combat is completely different from that of a single player. A single player is just waiting for the opportunity, and finding the right opportunity can kill the opponent in one blow. As for group combat, even if it is a stalemate, people are still dead every minute and every second. Often this kind of war will cause great casualties. It's not a problem to continue like this. Songgang, what do you think you should do? Songgang vomited blood. Wang Li called out the order to fight, and now he was about to lose. He came to ask what he meant. Isn't this clear to throw the reason for the mission failure to yourself? If you take away Wang Li's mask at this time, you will definitely see Wang Li's smirk. Others will ignore it, but Songgang will definitely issue a retreat order. Songgang is really thinking about the village and wholeheartedly assisting the citrus Yagura, hoping to make Kurigakure a better place. But what Songgang didn't know was that the meddler Yagura at this time was no longer the meddler Yagura before. Yagura has long been controlled by Uchiha Obito. The purpose is simple: revenge. The head is all wrong. No matter how much work is done below, it is useless. Retreat. Retreat. The Teote family can't be destroyed today, Songgang said bitterly. Have you heard that Master Songgang wants us to retreat? Please stop fighting and run. Although Songgang devoted himself to the village, he was with the wrong person. Now it has become a stumbling block to Wang Li's mission. Back at Mizukage's office, Yagura's entire face went dark. 20 or 30 Anbu died. As a result, the Momoji family did not die, and I heard about the alliance between Terumime and the Momoji family. And at this time, the more Yagura looked at Wang Li, the more unpleasant he was. If it weren't for any reason, Wang Li would have been killed long ago. The Momoji family don't care for the time being, they are almost dead, but Terumime jumped out publicly, can't just let it go. Goji Tangerine Yagura slowly moved his gaze to Wang Li as he spoke, and the corners of his mouth rose slightly. I was able to assassinate Teote Ji so quickly before, then I will give you a task. Citrus Orange Yagura turned his head and glared at Songgang when he said the word mission. Songgang was taken aback, and hurriedly took out a scroll from the cabinet and handed it to Wang Li. Wang Li was about to unwind the scroll, but was directly stopped by Yagura. Don't rush to read the content of the task, wait for you to go back and watch it with the little girl being done. This task requires you and Shui Wuyucheng to complete it. If you need any support, you can find Songgang. Wang Li frowned. At first I thought it was to assassinate Terumime or who it was, but now it seems that it is definitely not that simple. But since Terumime is not allowed to look at it first, she can only hide her curiosity. When Wang Li returned to the stronghold, Shui Wuyucheng saw Wang Li's return and immediately ran over worriedly. But halfway through, I suddenly found a scroll flying straight, hitting the face directly. What are you doing, Liren? I've been worried about you for so long, so you bully me when you come back. A ninja, you can't even catch such a slow flying object. If it is kunai, you will die. But. Shui Wuyu Orange was unable to say a word for a long time. Because Shui Wuyucheng knew that what he said, the Taodaili man in front of him would find a reason to refute. Stop it, look at your new mission with me. Shui Wuyucheng had a joy on her face. He originally thought that after dragging her legs a few times, she would apply to change partners, but she didn't expect that the task would come down again, and it would be 2 people. After all, with Teote Liren, an expert, no matter how difficult the task is, he can easily solve it. The scroll was slowly opened, the original happy Shui Wuyu Orange, his face instantly turned white, the entire scroll fell to the ground, and it took a long time to stop. Wang Li frowned and picked it up quickly. Shui Wuyu Chu, are you really going to do something with this family? The Mizutsuki family is one of the supporters of Terumime. In the previous battles of the Momochi family, the Mizutsuki family has been seen appearing, and Yagura is also expected to take action on it. And Shui Wuyu Chu is the patriarch of the Shui Wuyu family and the father of Shui Wuyu Orange. How could my father be a spy? This is absolutely impossible. I'm going to talk to Master Mizukage, there must be some misunderstanding. Shui Wuyucheng said, turned around and ran to Mizukage's office. Wang Li frowned and ran to Shui Wuyucheng quickly, blocking his way. Shui Wuyu Orange's current identity is very sensitive. If you refuse to perform this task, it is easy to anger the citrus Yagura, take it as a bargaining chip, or even kill it. It's easy to mess things up in the current state of Shui Wuyucheng. You can't go, Master Mizukage has already given an order, this task must be performed by you and me. Why, this man is my father. Let me kill my father. Get out of the way, I'm going to see Master Mizukage. Shui Wuyucheng, who had always been docile, also roared at this time. This is about the lives of those closest to you, no matter who it is, you will worry about it. You must stay here today. Yes, the little girl from the Mizuki family, you have to stay here today. This quest, Lord Mizukage, has been set. If you want to prove that you are not a spy, then go to the target. Songgang walked out slowly. His face seemed to have been punished a lot after Wang Li left. Master Songgang, there must be a misunderstanding in this. You ask me to go back and I will talk to my father. This misunderstanding will definitely be solved. Misunderstanding. Among the ninjas who sheltered the Taoji family just now, there is the unique ice escape of your Mizumusuki family. Do you think you need to explain anything? There was a thud in Shui Wuyucheng's head, and she took a few steps back. If it weren't for Wang Li's support, I'm afraid he would just sit on the ground. You should learn from your partner. Know that the people in your family are spies, and don't hesitate to start. This is a qualified Anbu. Songgang left, but there were a few more figures outside the stronghold. From this moment on, all the words and deeds of Wang Li and Shui Wuyu Orange will be transmitted to Yagura's ears. Li Ren-kun, I know you must have a way. I want to see my father. As long as I persuade him, he will definitely change his mind. Looking at Shui Wuyucheng's pleading eyes, Wang Li couldn't help but smile. Shui Wuyu Orange is completely the princess of Shui Wuyu's family. In order not to worry her daughter, Shui Wuyu didn't tell her anything. Wang Li was also unwilling to kill Shui Wuyuchu. After all, this belonged to Terumi Mei's subordinates, and killing it would not do him any good. It even weakens Terumi Mei's strength. But Wang Li had to go. Although Terumi Mei has the support of the two families of Momochi and Mizusuki, when Yagura dies, the chaotic scene is absolutely uncontrollable. Terumi Mei wants to be Mizukage's resistance. There will be a lot. The most important thing is that if you don't get the trust of Yagura, there is no chance to assassinate Yagura. Wang Li doesn't want to try the power of three tails. Don't you understand? You can't get out of here today. Go out and die. Wang Li shouted sharply. Shui Wuyucheng's face turned pale. She squatted down, and started crying with her arms around her knees. Seeing that he was no longer struggling, Wang Li sat back on the chair. What should be said has already been said, and then if Shui Wuyucheng wants to rush out with a hot head, then Wang Li will not be able to care about it. The next thing Wang Li had to consider was how to not provoke Yagura's disgust without killing Shui Wuyuchu. Without sleep all night, Shui Wuyucheng cried all night. And Wang Li thought about it all night. Just then, Yagura came in. After seeing the two, his face smirked. How is it? Do you need any help for this task? Hearing Yagura's voice, Mizuki Orange immediately became energetic and ran over quickly. However, Mizuki Yuzuki just ran in front of Kochi Yagura. Before he could say anything, suddenly a big hand stretched out and covered Mizuki's mouth. Master Mizukage, we need your help in this mission. Need me to take action? Kochi Yagura couldn't help but frown, but it became clear for a moment after thinking about it. Relying on Bing Dun, Shui Wuyu has almost cage-level strength. And Daoji Liren and Mizutsuki Orange just graduated from the ninja school. No matter how sophisticated the assassination plan is, the chance of success will not be too high. Okay, I promise you this condition. Citrus Yagura's reason for agreeing to the conditions is simple, that is, she really wants Mizuno Yuchu to die. Terumi Mei's power gradually increased. After absorbing the Teote family, it was no longer inferior to Yagura. Now Yagura urgently needs to reduce Terumi Mei's top combat power. And if Yagura shoots, it will be able to better monitor the loyalty of the two. If it is found that the situation is not right, kill both of them immediately. Hearing Yagura's promise, Wang Li couldn't help but raise his mouth slightly. If you want to fail the assassination and prevent Yagura from killing, then the best way is to involve him himself. As for how to make Shui Wuyuchu survive, then Wang Li had to take a risk. Then tonight, we target the Mizusuki family. Okay, I will come to you then. Don't go out until then, take a good rest. It's Master Mizukage. Watching Yagura go away, Wang Likai put his hand on Shui Wuyucheng's mouth. At this time, Wang Li had left 2 deep tooth marks on his hands, and blood was still bleeding outwards. Why are you stopping me? I just need to explain to Master Mizukage, he will definitely understand. Shui Wuyucheng finished anxiously, and then wanted to turn around and chase it out. Wang Li once again blocked the way of Shui Wuyucheng. After all, it was about his blood relatives, and it was understandable that Shui Wuyucheng was anxious and Wang Li. However, when Shui Wuyucheng went out at this time, he could only make trouble, and had no effect at all. Wang Li grabbed Shui Wuyucheng's face with both hands, and his face was directly close to the other's face. From the side, it looked like the Buddha and the two were kissing. Although the two hadn't really touched each other, Wang Li's constant heat made Shui Wuyucheng, who was ignorant of age, suddenly confused. Believe me, Wang Li knew that only speaking so close and whispered would the Anbu outside hear him. But even so, Wang Li didn't dare to say more. After all, Mizuki Orange didn't look very smart, and it was easy for others to see something from her expression. You mean you can? Ooh. After a few seconds, Wang Li looked at Shui Wuyucheng dissatisfiedly. If I let Shui Wuyu Orange go on talking just now, I was afraid that I would be completely blacklisted by Yagura, and I wouldn't know how he would die by then. Fortunately, I am witty, but Shui Wuyu Orange is cheaper. You just wait here obediently, Master Mizukage will give a fair judgment. After Wang Li finished speaking, he sat down on the chair. Shui Wuyucheng covered her mouth with her hands, letting go of the Buddha. He accidentally glanced at Wang Li from the corner of his eye, and immediately blushed, and hurriedly sat aside, with his back facing Wang Li. Wang Li seemed to be leaning on a chair with his eyes closed and rested. In fact, his right index finger kept tapping on the back of his left hand, mentally meditating on the numbers. It was not that Wang Li didn't do anything last night. Through observation, Wang Li discovered that Anbu, who was guarding his own outside, would change a group of people every 4 hours. In the process of this replacement, there is a few seconds of blanking in the monitoring. 3, 2, 1. Suddenly, Wang Li's eyes opened sharply, and he saw Anbu, who had been staying behind the tree, and turned around. Wang Li hurriedly nodded his hands, and a waterman stood up on the ground. After that, Wang Li continued to make seals quickly, and Kuwu in his hand gradually lit up with a golden halo. He hid the suffering behind the water body, and then jumped out like flying. Suddenly, Shui Wuyucheng felt movement behind her, and turned her head quickly. When she saw Wang Li's face, her face flushed. Wang Li used the transformation technique to transform himself into the original appearance, and then suddenly appeared in front of several Anbu. From the beginning, Wang Li was not prepared to completely escape from Anbu's sight. It was enough to interfere with Anbu's sight. However, using transformation technique to become himself, Wang Li was afraid that he would be the first person without precedent in history. The first time Wang Li appeared, Anbu found out. However, several Anbus first confirmed the Teote Liren in the stronghold, and saw that they were still a little relieved with their eyes closed. Then one of them, Anbu, chased after him. After all, a ninja suddenly appeared around the stronghold. No matter what the purpose of the opponent is, the first thing to do is to catch the opponent. Wang Li looked at Anbu, who was gradually increasing behind him, and the corners of his mouth rose slightly. There is one advantage to being the king of Konoha. That is ninjutsu other than water style, and Wang Li can use it at this time. Multiple shadow clone techniques. In an instant, dozens of shadow clone appeared around Wang Li, and then rushed towards Anbu. Shadow clone just wants to stop us, it really doesn't put us in the eye. The Anbu member snorted coldly, took out Kuwu and rushed forward. As soon as I was about to come into contact with the shadow clone, suddenly the shadow clone began to expand. Before the Anbu members had time to attack, the shadow clone began to crack. Boom! More than a dozen shadow clone exploded at the same time, and when a huge explosion occurred, all the people around were involved. Several people fell directly to the ground without a sound, and the survivors also had wounds all over their bodies. But looking again, Wang Li was no longer found. Go and inform Master Mizukage, there are spies. With his memory, Wang Li quickly ran towards Terumi Mei's stronghold. Wang Li knows very well that although the moisture body technique can temporarily fool others, it is absolutely impossible to fool everyone. Especially Songgang. If he knew about this, he would definitely confirm Wang Li's identity as soon as possible. If you don't go back in time, you will definitely show your stuff. Then Shui Wuyu Orange will definitely die by then. Arriving at a hidden stronghold, Wang Li ignored the guard's obstruction and rushed in directly. At this time, Cheng Juro was wrapped in bandages, struggling forward step by step. Suddenly Wang Li appeared and hit Changjuro directly. Changjuro hadn't reacted yet, he was directly hit by the huge impact, and fell to the ground wailing non-stop. There are enemies. Enemy attacks. For a while, several ninjas appeared directly and were about to step forward to arrest Wang Li, but a soft drink came from behind. Retreat to me. It seems you still remember me. The man who almost killed me, don't I remember? Don't talk nonsense. You came to me suddenly. You probably didn't just say this. Wang Li looked around, and after confirming that there was no one, his face instantly became serious. The beginning of the month without water. What? Someone has appeared outside Anbu's stronghold. Songgang stood up abruptly, with a smirk on his face. Songgang had doubted the identity of Teote Liren from the beginning. Because this kid has completed the tasks, but the result after completion is worse than before. Even dozens of Anbu died because of him. Now that I have just ordered the assassination of Shui Wuyuchu, there are figures moving outside this kid's stronghold. There is absolutely an accident. Soon after Song Gang led the citrus Yagura to Wang Li's stronghold, he saw Wang Li leaning on a chair and closing his eyes to rest up his mind, while Shui Wuyu Orange was sitting in the corner with his back facing Wang Li. Master Mizukage, this Teote Liren is definitely a water body. Yes, then you go and experiment. Song Gang gave a smirk, walked slowly to Wang Li's side, and kicked the chair directly with his foot. Wang Li slowly opened his eyes and looked at Songgang impatiently. Master Songgang, what else is coming to me? Songgang did not reply to Wang Li, but directly took out a bitterness and stabbed Wang Li. Wang Li hurriedly dodged, but Songgang's speed was too fast, and Kuwu still left a blood mark on Wang Li's body. Seeing this scene, Shui Wuyucheng hurriedly came to Wang Li, glaring at Songgang like an angry kitten. The moisture body will disappear for me. 1 second. 2 seconds. 3 seconds. 3 seconds passed. Songgang and Wang Li looked at each other. The picture of Wang Li turning into water did not appear in the imagination, but the blood fell drop by drop. Songgang, what the hell is going on with you? If you have an opinion to us, just do it directly. What do you mean? Wang Li hadn't spoken yet, but Shui Wuyucheng choked Songgang to the point. Songgang looked at Yagura in confusion, trying to explain something, but found himself completely indefatigable. Wang Li stretched out his hand and pulled Shui Wuyucheng behind him, and then said calmly, "It is normal for Master Songgang to be suspicious, but I am injured now and it will inevitably affect the next mission." Songgang's mouth twitched, and he kept cursing in his heart. Wang Li was just a bit of skin trauma, and it was obviously evasive to say that it affected the task. But Songgang didn't dare to say anything at this time, for fear that it would completely anger Yagura. At this time, an Anbu appeared next to Yagura, and whispered. After about 3 seconds, Yagura's face returned to normal. The ninja arrived at a stronghold in Terumi-mei, and no one has come out yet. Matsuoka, you suspect that people can do it, but if you just do it because you suspect people, do you think it's appropriate? Songgang's heart was shocked. Although Yagura was very tactful, the meaning of blame was very obvious. Songgang can only lower his head and keep silent. Now we have to consider whether we should continue to act on Mizuchi. Because intelligence is likely to leak out, and if we continue to attack, we may be ambushed. Hearing what Wang Li said, Yagura waved his hand quickly, and the surrounding Anbu disappeared quickly. Songgang was about to talk when he noticed that Yagura was staring at him. Songgang's heart was shaken, and he walked out hurriedly with his head down. At this time, only the citrus orange Yagura Wang Li was left in the stronghold, and there was also a confused Mizunoue orange. Liren, then, do you think you should continue to assassinate Shui Wuyuchu? Yes, maybe the spy didn't hear about our plan. Maybe the content of the plan hasn't reached Mizuki Chu's ears. The feasibility is still very high. Halfway through Wang Li's words, he suddenly felt that his waist was pinched by something. Turning his head to see Shui Wuyucheng was looking at Wang Li with a pair of bitter eyes. Wang Li gave a wry smile, and stopped paying attention to Mizuki Orange and continued, "But I have another suggestion here, which is to turn his head and kill Changjuro." Yagura's eyes lit up. Chojuro is the owner of Flounder and one of Terumi-mei's close friends. The killing of Chojuro even made Terumi-mei more heartbroken than Mizukage. "Oh, tell me more." The spy ran to the stronghold of Changjuro. "If they hear our plan, they will definitely gather all the manpower in Mizumusuki's house. And the guard of the stronghold of Chengjuro will be empty, and this is the best chance to start. Quote. Citrus Tangerine Yagura felt his chin and thought. Seeing that Yagura hesitated, Wang Li continued. As one of the 7 ninjamen, Chojuro became Terumi Mei's subordinate. Killing him can also kill the chickens and the monkeys, allowing other vacillating people to strengthen themselves. Thoughts. Okay, just as you think, kill Chengjuro tonight. But in order to confuse them, the Mizuki family will send someone to harass them. Yes, exactly. The corners of Wang Li's mouth rose slightly, and he sneered in his heart. The last time I saved Chengjuro was entirely because of cooperation, otherwise who was happy to save him at that time? Wang Li was happier when he died. At night, the number of pedestrians on the road gradually decreases. At this time, there were people moving in the woods, rushing to the outside of Chengjuro's stronghold. Liren, thank you very much, otherwise, if you want me to assassinate my father, I really don't know how to deal with it. I have said it so many times, don't call my name when performing the task. Complete the task well, this time I may not be able to take care of you. I'm also very good now, and I can take care of myself. Shui Wuyu straightened up and patted her not-rich chest vigorously. Okay, stop talking. The troops over there will take action in about 3 minutes. We will rush in after 10 minutes. But if you see Chengjuro coming out, we will intercept and kill. Everyone nodded one after another. Although they were wearing masks, they could feel the solemnity of the atmosphere. Time passed by, and suddenly a ninja rushed into the stronghold. Citrus Yagura hurriedly raised his hand to signal everyone not to do anything. Our goal is Chojuro, so let the others ignore it for now. About a minute later, ninjas jumped out from the stronghold, and at the end of the troop, they saw one person wrapped in a bandage. Citrus Yagura's eyes lit up and slowly raised his hand. Great, Chojuro is injured, watch me gesture to attack. 3, 2, 1. Kodachi Yagura shook his hand violently, and all Anbu members rushed towards Chojuro. Yagura's target turned out to be me. Chojuro hurriedly pulled out the flounder and looked around with solemn eyes, and the ninja who had just ran out in front also quickly ran back. Quick, go and support Chojuro. Although the ninjas ran back quickly, they couldn't hold the Kochi Tachibana Yagura faster, and in the blink of an eye they came to Chojuro. Owners of the 7 ninjas and all the flounders, today you must die here. Kochi Yagura was about to stab Chojuro in a bitter taste, but Chojuro did not evade for a while due to his physical injuries. Untie! Chengjuro shouted angrily, and all the bandages wrapped around the flounder burst open. Kochi Yagura's pupils shrank sharply, and a dangerous breath came on her face. But because the distance between the two is too close, there is no room to escape. Cut! A violent chakra vented from the flounder and directly hit the Citrus Yagura. Citrus Yagura was shot out. To protect Master Mizukage. All the ninjas quickly gathered in front of Kodachi Yagura to prevent anyone from going to make up the knife. Go away. Chojuro must die today, Citrus Yagura said coldly, but her voice at this time seemed to be a different person, like a monster. Wang Li turned his head and looked. At this time, Yagura had become a beast, and his skin was reddish-brown like magma. And the chakra that emerged from his body was unusually irritable and gave people a dangerous breath. Tailed animalization. Wang Li's heart sighed. Citrus Yagura, as one of the few existences that can control tail beastization, the chakra after becoming tailed beasts has surged, and the fighting power has also risen in a straight line. Although Wang Li came to the ninja world for a few days, he spent some time with Uzumaki Naruto, the owner of 9 tails. But this was the first time I saw the tail animalization. The 3 tails behind Yagura kept twisting, and the eyes looked like an abyss demon, and the staring Chojuro couldn't help but back up a few steps. Citrus Yagura opened her mouth, and immediately countless chakras gathered around her mouth. Even Wang Li, who was standing in the distance, felt a breath of death. Tailed Beast Bomb. What is Tailed Beast Bomb? Shui Wuyucheng looked at Wang Li suspiciously. The Tailed Beast Bomb is one of the most terrifying moves of the Tailed Beast Bomb. It has the power to destroy the world, but it has a huge flaw. Although the Tailed Beast Bomb is so powerful, almost everyone will die. But Tailed Beast Bomb almost never killed a ninja. There is no other reason. Tailed Beast Bomb is too slow to aim. It is difficult to hit if you only need to avoid it quickly. In Wang Li's memory, only the guy ghost Deng Shuiyu ate a tailed beast bomb. At that time, if it weren't for the fragrant phosphorus, I was afraid that I would go to see his brother directly. When the tailed beast bomb gathered to the maximum, the originally dim road became completely dark. Only the dark red-tailed beast bomb was left in his sight, shining dangerously. Changjuro dodged quickly, but due to the wound on his body, his speed was a few times slower than during the victory. Ouch! The tailed beast bomb was launched, and only the sound of the tailed beast bomb was left in the whole world. Even the sound of the tailed beast bomb sweeping the building explosion was masked. Changjuro dodged quickly, but he was still rubbed a little by the tailed beast bomb. The original wound hadn't healed completely, and blood spattered immediately. The corner of Wang Li's mouth rose slightly. Although Changjuro escaped the fatal injury, if no one came to rescue him, he would be inevitable today. Kochi Yagura danced the three tails behind him, and walked to Chojuro step by step. A cold smile gradually appeared on the fuzzy face. No one can save you today. Kochi Yagura raised her right hand high. At this time, Yagura's right hand turned into a sharp claw directly due to the beastization of the tail. As long as it is caught, even if Changjuro has great abilities, he is afraid that he will die here. Chojuro waved the flounder and tried to make the final struggle. But in front of the citrus Yagura, this is almost as funny as a cat. Seeing that the sharp claws were about to be grasped, a thick mist suddenly enveloped Yagura. Suddenly the reddish-brown skin of Yagura was continuously dissolved. There were bursts of terrible shouts. Immediately afterwards, water bombs the size of bullets passed through the thick fog and directly hit Yagura. As for the part where Yagura was hit by the bullet, chakra started to slow down, and one arm even withdrew from the tail animalization. Terumi Mei. Green. Wang Li turned his head to look, and found Terumi Mei and Qing standing not far away panting. It seemed that they had rushed back desperately. For a while, countless Anbu members rushed up, trying to rescue the citrus orange Yagura in the Chaowu technique. But when the hand touched the mist, Fangfo encountered strong sulfuric acid, and the whole hand began to corrode rapidly. This shows how powerful the body of Yagura is. Wang Li frowned slightly, but he didn't expect that Yagura was careless for a while and went directly into a big disadvantage. But now Yagura can't die. Kurigakure and many big families are on the sidelines. If 4th Mizukage, Yagura, is dead at this time, a group of people must jump out to compete for the position of Mizukage. Although Terumi Mei is currently supported by 2 families, it is not necessarily equal to other families. It's time for me to go on stage. The girl will go with me and cool down Mizukage with Bing Dun. Shui Wuyucheng immediately recovered and nodded towards Wang Li. Although I hate this Mizukage from the bottom of my heart, but I don't know why, Wang Li yells at her to take action, and he has no idea of rejecting it. You take action against Terumi Mei, I will rescue Master Mizukage. The helpless people chose to believe in Wang Li and rushed towards Terumi Mei. Wang Li and Shui Wuyucheng came to Yagura, and looked at each other. Mizuki Orange nodded, and a sharp chill spread towards Yagura. The temperature of the originally high temperature mist gradually dropped. Immediately, Wang Li quickly sealed his hands, and a water dragon rose from the ground, hovering twice in the mist, and then dragged the citrus orange Yagura out. When Yagura leaves the fog, the whole person retreats into a tail animalized state. Falling directly to the ground, the wound on his body is as if it had been soaked in boiling water. Use Bing Dun to help cool down. Wang Li sternly said. Shui Wuyu Orange didn't dare to be careless, and hurriedly wrapped the citrus orange Yagura with cold air. However, the cold at this time was much milder than before. Gradually, Yagura, the grimacious mandarin orange on his face, gradually eased, but the wound on his body was still shocking. Fortunately, there are you two, otherwise I will explain it here today. Master Mizukage, leave it to Master Songgang here, we two will escort you back. Wang Li looked at Anbu behind him and completely suppressed the opponent with a quantitative advantage, but his face showed disapproval. Because of the top combat power on his side, because the effect has already lost combat power. On the other side of Terumi Mei and Qing are still standing. Just drag it on, and you can definitely turn defeat into victory. Wang Li didn't want to carry such a pot, so he naturally had to hand it over to Songgang. Then trouble you. The three returned to Mizukage's office, and the medical ninja quickly treated the wound of Yagura. The wound of Yagura burned by the Chowu technique heals at a speed visible to the naked eye. At this time, Kochi Yagura frowned, with an angry expression on his face. Terumi Mei, I must kill her. Wang Li gave a smirk in his heart and stood directly beside Yagura. Master Mizukage, this time we have a huge advantage in numbers. With Songgang's ability, we can definitely capture them. No matter how bad we are, we can kill the two main characters. Then there is nothing terrifying about Terumi Mei. After listening to Wang Li's words, Citrus Yagura snorted coldly, her eyes full of violent expressions. I hope Songgang will not let me down. Wang Li returned to the stronghold. Shui Wuyucheng was supporting her chin with one hand, while the other hand was constantly playing with Kuwu. Seeing Wang Li coming in, he hurriedly stood up, with a hint of blush on his face. Thank you, I actually watch what you do during the day. Shui Wuyucheng was halfway through her words, when she suddenly thought of something. She hurriedly covered her mouth with her hand. Wang Li gave a wry smile and sat on the chair disapprovingly. Don't be so nervous, those Anbu guards, all have gone to fight, here is safe for the time being. Shui Wuyucheng breathed a sigh of relief when she heard Wang Li's words, and then ran to Wang Li's side and sat down. Actually, I feel that if Master Mizukage dies, our village might be better. Wang Li glanced at Shui Wuyu Orange. Seeing that Shui Wuyu Orange put his hands up quickly, he replied anxiously, I'm not a spy, I'm just talking about it casually. You are right, but who do you think will be the next Mizukage? Shui Wuyu Orange froze for a moment, originally thinking that Wang Li was a loyal supporter of Citrus Orange Yagura, who knew he had this idea too. But the next Mizukage has no idea at all. Mizukage must be concerned about the village. If it is the patriarch who only cares about his own family to become a Mizukage, other families will definitely be suppressed. Now the foundation of Kurigakure has been loosened, and it can no longer withstand a Mizukage who only cares about himself. Quote. Shui Wuyucheng lowered her head in thought. I found myself too young, thinking completely according to personal preferences. I didn't think about the next step at all. Wang Li, who was about his age, thought about the next Mizukage. For a while, Shui Wuyucheng felt that Wang Li was so mysterious, and it was not like he was his age at all. So, who do you think is the next Mizukage? Wang Li smiled mysteriously. If he said too much, Wang Li would be afraid of the idiot Shui Wuyucheng. Moreover, after Wang Li's calculation, Songgang should almost be back. Let's go and watch a good show with you. Wang Li smiled slightly, picked up Anbu's mask and put it on his face. Shui Wuyucheng gave Wang Li a confused look, and quickly stood up, following Wang Li like a stalker. Mizukage office. Citrus Tangerine Yagura was covered with bandages, and his face was full of anger. Songgang, what did you eat? I brought back 50 people from Anbu and only 21 people did not say. And you didn't kill any of the opponent's main combat power. Why didn't you die there? Songgang lowered his head and did not dare to breathe. Songgang was aggrieved to death at this time. Obviously it was a mistake of Kochi Yagura, which ruined the great advantage, but now he puts all the blame on him. Although the number of people was the advantage at the beginning, it didn't take long for Terumi Mei's troops to come back, and the number of people was flat. And there are Terumi Mei, Qing, Momochi Guiran, and Mizuaki Chu, the top combat power. The war drama suddenly turned into a disadvantage. But Songgang was very clear at this time. If you explain, then there will be endless abuse. It would be better to just bow your head and admit your mistakes. Amidst the constant weird sound of Citrus Orange Yagura, suddenly an Anbu member rushed out and said anxiously, Master Mizukage is not good, the Kimura family, the Jodo family, and the Sakata family are coming towards us. Hearing this, Yagura stood up directly, but because of internal injuries, he kept coughing when he tried to speak. What do their three families want to do? Is it possible that they want to overthrow me? Kimura Castle Tosaka is the three major families of Kurigakure, and the three of them together can be said to be half the sky of Kurigakure. Originally, Yagura was going to deal with the Teote family, and then slowly deal with them. Who knew that so many things happened? All of a sudden, Mizukage's power was suppressed to the lowest level in history. At this time Songgang hurriedly stood up. Songgang, who has been backed up one after another, must do one thing to prove the value of his existence. And now is the best opportunity. Master Mizukage, please let me go out to deal with it, I will definitely persuade them to go back. Wang Li's eyes lit up, standing on the side. The election of Terumime on stage does not necessarily require the support of other families. It can also be done by weakening the strength of other families. As long as the strength of the other three families is reduced by half, they will not be able to continue to compete for the position of Mizukage. And now is the best opportunity. Master Mizukage, the three big families are coming together this time, I'm afraid it's planned for a long time. Although Master Sanggang has the ability to persuade them back, how much do we have to pay to make them regress? After listening to Wang Li's words, Koju Yagura sat down and hit the table with a punch, splitting the table in an instant. Yes, we must let them know how good we are. Sanggang glanced at Wang Li in disgust. Found that since Wang Li appeared, Yagura has become increasingly distrustful of herself. On the contrary, he was more willing to listen to Wang Li's words. Although what Wang Li said sounds very reasonable, the entire village will be plunged into boundless chaos if implemented. Master Mizukage, absolutely can't fight anymore. If we lose again, we will have no whole cards. Sanggang doesn't need to say any more, you pretended to make peace on your face and delay time. Teote Liren went to the three major families and let them catch fire in their backyard. Citrus Yagura said and threw 3 scrolls to Wang Li. When you use these 3 scrolls, someone in the 3 major families will naturally take you. You can only win this battle, but you can't lose. Wang Li took the 3 scrolls, his face under the mask was already distorted with a smile. Originally I wanted to give up some troubles, but I didn't expect that Yagura would have buried the thunder a long time ago. Now only 1 spark is needed, and it can be ignited in an instant. Wang Li took the scroll, and the next time was destined to be a sleepless night. I don't know how many people died because of a word of their own. But for the better development of Kurigakure, all this is worth it. Standing outside the Kimura family, Wang Li felt that the scroll in his hand was extraordinarily heavy. I only need to inspire the scroll in my hand, then the quiet and peaceful Kimura family in front of me will set off a bloody storm. At first, Wang Li wanted to imagine everyone in the ninja world as NPCs, trying to minimize the sense of guilt. But as more and more ninjas came into contact, this idea gradually fluctuated. Orange, do you think I am doing this right? Shui Wuyucheng looked at Wang Li in confusion. He, who has always had his own opinion, suddenly asked himself such a profound question. As long as Liren-kun does things, it is definitely meaningful. Wang Li gave a wry smile and shook his head quickly, dispelling all the thoughts in his heart. Then the whole person squatted down and spread out the scroll. Open. With Jia Yin, the paint made of the special composition on the reel brightened up, and then all disappeared. Wang Li raised his right hand high, waiting for the movement within the Kimura family. About 5 minutes passed. There was movement in the Kimura family, and the movement grew stronger as time went by. My lord, a ninja ran out, do you want to intercept it? No, this ninja must have gone to the front line to inform the news. This can reduce the pressure on the front line and wait for me to gesture and prepare to attack. At this moment, the Kimura family panicked completely. Thick smoke began to erupt from the entire yard, and then the fire gradually spread in the yard. Superior. As Wang Li waved his hand fiercely, dozens of ninjas quickly rushed towards the Kimura family. Wang Li quietly watched the wailing sounds coming from the Kimura family. At this time, Wang Li didn't need to make a move at all. The main combat power of the Kimura family has all come to the front line, and the remaining combat power left in the family is afraid that it would have been eradicated by the internal rapes long ago. And these Anbu went down, and slaughtered some people who were afraid of things and had no power to restrain the chicken. Orange, get ready, the Kimura family should be back soon. It's not you who said you can't call your real name when you perform a mission. Shui Wuyucheng murmured a few words, but immediately turned around and was ready to fight. Wang Li raised his head and looked in the other 2 directions. Kurigakure was originally dim, and there was a burst of fire in 2 places. Tomorrow Kurigakure will be replaced. Wang Li took out the last scroll casually. This scroll was not given by Yagura, but by Terumime at the beginning. It only needs Wang Li to inspire this scroll to show that he has completed everything, and Terumime will also launch a general attack. Terumime, who was looking anxiously at Chojiro's injury in the stronghold, suddenly lit up the jade pendant on her chest. Terumi Mei was shocked, her eyebrows frowned. It's about to start so soon. Everyone is ready to summon people from other strongholds. Tonight we are going to overthrow the tyranny of Citrus Yagura. Ching frowned and looked at Terumi Mei solemnly. Is that kid believable? If it weren't for him, Changjuro wouldn't be like this, he might not even be a ninja. Terumi Mei looked at Chojiro, who was lying in a coma, her eyebrows frowned. I believe that kid, because he doesn't need to lie to us at all. The way we are now, there is no value in letting him lie. Besides, isn't Chojiro still alive? Although Ching was still a little unconvinced on his face, seeing Terumi Mei's determination, he finally compromised. Well, I don't believe him, but I believe you. When will you do it? When the people are assembled, I will go directly into the Mizukage office tomorrow morning. The wailing in the Kimura family has completely subsided, leaving only the cry of some children. And these presumably will be completely quiet again soon. However, Wang Li raised his spirits at this time, because the next battle will start immediately. Come on, Orange is ready. Shui Wuyucheng glanced at Wang Li complainingly, fiddled with her mask again, and her other hand tightened countless thin threads. At this moment, 3 ninjas suddenly appeared, madly running towards the Kimura family. Seeing this, Shui Wuyucheng's hand holding the thin thread trembled. At this time, Wang Li's hand touched Shui Wuyucheng's head, and said softly, "Don't worry, let these 3 people pass." Shui Wuyu Orange didn't know the truth, but since it was Wang Li, he would trust it completely. Okay, listen to you. The 3 ninjas passed by, and the Kimura family, who had been quiet, once again became lively and looked from a distance, vaguely seeing a water dragon dancing in the air. After about 3 minutes, noisy footsteps came not far away. And the number of footsteps is about 30 people, and the rhythm of the running is the ninja's special pace. Come on, be ready at any time. Watch my gestures. Shui Wuyu Orange nodded her head slightly, and the thin line she was holding was straightened again. For a while, a large number of ninjas ran over, and everyone's face was full of anxiety and anger. I didn't expect Yagura to use this method, and he must be allowed to survive and die. Don't talk nonsense, my child is just full moon, if something happens, I will definitely let him pay for it. ... Several ninjas passed by, but Wang Li's high-hanging hand had not yet waved. At this time, the second echelon ran over, and after a closer look, there were more than a dozen ninjas. At this moment, Wang Li waved his hand fiercely, and Shui Wuyucheng hurriedly pulled the thin thread in his hand. Suddenly sparks appeared on the ground. Not good as a detonation talisman. There is an ambush. As soon as the voice fell, before the ninjas had time to react, the ground instantly lit up with white light. Boom! A series of explosions continued to be heard, and dozens of ninjas were in the very center of the detonation talisman, and there was no room to escape. He didn't even have time to react, and was directly blown out. Everyone, be careful, there is an ambush here, hurry up and find the enemy. It's just this time. The number of ninjas in the Kimura family dropped sharply in an instant, and nearly 20 people scattered, constantly looking for Wang Li and Mizumusuke Orange. Wang Li smiled slightly. If you fight head-on, you are definitely not an opponent of these people. But now that I am in the dark, there will be countless means to deal with them. Wang Li pulled up a thin thread in his hand, and suddenly burst into another place. The ninja standing nearby was directly blown up and fell to the ground without knowing his life or death. The thread in Wang Li's hand was pulled apart one by one, and the members of the Kimura family also decreased one by one. Not long after the original ninja troop of more than 30 people, there were only less than 10 people left. However, all the thin threads in Wang Li's hand were also used up, and the next thing to do was to head to head. Orange, stay here, I will reduce the number of enemies. Look, that kid is here. Chapter 89. Several ninjas quickly attacked Wang Li. Wang Li frowned, his face showing disapproval. Of the 8 ninjas in front of him, only 3 are Jonin, and all the other 5 are Chunin. The main reason is that the main combat power of the Kimura family is still fighting on the front line, and the people who come over are only a part of it. The top combat power also needs to work together to deal with Yagura, so the emergence of Chunin is also expected. A child, one child kills us and will kill us. Unbelievable expressions appeared on the faces of the ninjas. Don't think that I am a child, you can take it lightly. Wang Li sneered, his hands began to seal quickly. This Jaeyin is so fast, it's definitely a master. Go and stop him. At the time when Kimura Ninja was talking, a water dragon was already formed and hovering in the air. The water dragon circled a few times and then rushed into the crowd. The 8 ninjas quickly dispersed and surrounded Wang Li. It's naive to want to use water dragon bomb against us. Wang Li sneered. After the water dragon bomb hovered in the air for a few times, it directly lost chakra's control and turned into ordinary water and fell down. I didn't plan to use water dragon bomb technique from the beginning. The ninjas weren't ready to give Wang Li time to continue speaking, and rushed towards Wang Li from several directions at the same time. The corners of Wang Li's mouth rose slightly, and then his hands began to seal quickly. For a while, an electric arc started to jump on Wang Li's body, and the electric arc rushed out quickly when it touched the water on the ground. No, it's lightning style. When the ninja spoke, it was too late to dodge. I only felt that my whole body was hit by the electric arc, and my body was paralyzed. But at this time, Wang Li's hands did not stop, and he continued to quickly seal the seal. Lightning style. Spiral needle. At a time, several thunder attribute chakra condensed thin needles were suspended in the air, and flew out directly with Wang Li's force. Several ninjas were still in a state of paralysis, and there was no time to dodge, and they watched the thin needles attack. Boom! Several explosions sounded, and the 3 of them fell directly to the ground and kept convulsing. Even the 5 people who were still standing still had a lot of wounds on their bodies due to the aftermath of the spiral needles. This kid how lightning style, this guy must be a spy. Kurigakur is mainly based on water style, and there are very few people who can use lightning style, and all of them are well-known characters. Among these characters, this kid is definitely not included. Spirit, whatever you think. Wang Li sneered. There is no need to explain to some dying people. What we have to do now is to resolve the battle quickly. Wang Li's hands began to seal again, and a dozen shadow clone appeared in front of everyone in an instant, rushing towards the 5 with Kuwu in his hand. Quick, run, go report to the patriarch, this is a conspiracy. Run, you have to run away too. As soon as the voice fell, Wang Lixi's pupils gradually turned blood red, and the eyes of the ninja who was looking at Wang Li's eyes began to become blurred. Kill. The ninja gave a smirk, took the kunai in his hand and pierced it towards his own heart. It's Konoha. It's the Sharingan of the Konoha Uchiha clan. Isn't the Uchiha clan already annihilated? How could it appear in our Kurigakur? Don't look into his eyes, go report to the patriarch, don't report to Lord Mizukage. Wang Li frowned directly. Although the Kurigakur civil war has not stopped. But if there are other ninjas from Ninja Village during the civil war, Kurigakur will immediately unite. After defeating the foreign enemy, Kurigakur will once again return to its previous appearance. As for why Wang Li started Sharingan, it was because Wang Li was not ready to let anyone go. Want to go? Then try this trick again. Wang Li's hands began to seal again, and the frightening spiral needle appeared again. With Wang Li waved one hand, the 3 ninjas fell to the ground with the explosion. The last ninja looked at Wang Li in terror, staggering his feet and sitting directly on the ground. Please let me go, you are willing to do anything you want me to do. Wang Li walked to the ninja with a cold face. Although there was no murderous aura on his body, the ninja couldn't stop shaking. Sorry, you have to die in order to change. The sword fell with his hand, and the last ninja also lost his breath. Wang Li was not complacent because he killed 8 people in one go. Under the same conditions, Wang Li would definitely not be the opponent of the 8 people. Only 8 people made 2 fatal mistakes, which led to the final failure. First, despise. After seeing Wang Li's age from the very beginning, the 8 people despised from the bottom of their hearts. Because they are like Wang Li, and they usually just graduated from a ninja school. If you want to kill all 8 people in one breath, you don't believe anything. Second, information. The 8 ninjas identified Wang Li as Kurigakur Anbu from the beginning, and the scope of their use of ninjutsu was also water style. But he did not expect that Wang Li would actually use lightning style. Moreover, the spiral needle displayed is so powerful. These 2 points directly led to the defeat of everyone. Orange, don't hide, come out. Shui Wuyucheng jumped out, fighting strength a few meters away from Wang Li. Taoji Liren, who are you? Why do you use lightning style? Why do you use Sharingan? Mizuki Orange's voice is very cold, and I can't believe that the person who has been with him all these days is actually a Konoha shinobi. And Shui Wuyucheng tried to make the final struggle, hoping that Wang Li could not say no from the air. I know what you are thinking, but I want to tell you that I don't have any bad intentions towards Kurigakure. When Wang Li finished speaking, he turned his back. I have already said what I want to say. As for what Shui Wuyucheng thinks, that's her business. Shui Wuyucheng lowered her head to think for a long time, and finally ran to Wang Li quickly. Liren-kun, no, this should be your fake name. But no matter what, I believe you. I believe you will never harm me. Wang Li smiled slightly, and didn't mean to speak up. Anbu, who went to the Kimura family a short time later, returned, and the number of people who came back was even a few more than when they went. All processing has been completed, please send the next instruction. Wait, Wang Li popped a word from his mouth, and then closed his eyes. After about half an hour, the ninjas from the other two families returned. It's just not as complete as Wang Li's side. Nearly 40 people went to the two places, and only a dozen people returned. And everyone has large and small wounds on their bodies. Wang Li slowly opened his eyes, and there was a bright light in his eyes. It's time to end. Wang Li returned to the Mizukage office building with more than 30 Anbu. At this time, the battle outside the Mizukage office building had already become a battle. Dead bodies can be seen everywhere. Looking at the two losers, Wang Li couldn't help but raised his mouth. This is the purpose of Wang Lifeng that ninja came out. If the ninja doesn't come out to report, then there will be no fights, and no one will go back to support. What Wang Li wants is chaos. Quick, everyone, go and support Master Songgang. Seeing Wang Li's return, Songgang showed an expression of ecstasy on his face. 3 families attacked at the same time, and even Mizukage's elite troops suffered heavy casualties. However, being able to fight like this among the 3 major families is enough to prove that Yagura has the strength of the troops. Liren-kun, you are finally back, help me solve these rebellious people. Wang Li didn't mean to step forward at all, and even reached out his hand to stop Shui Wuyu Orange. I'll leave it to Master Songgang here, and I will protect Master Mizukage. Songgang gave Wang Li an uncomfortable look, but it didn't matter. The 30-odd people that Wang Li brought back were enough to tilt the balance of victory. It didn't matter whether Wang Li was there or not. And Songgang can even take advantage of the battle alone. Go, it's important to protect Master Mizukage. Wang Li smiled slightly and walked straight into the Mizukage office building. At this time, the office building was empty and no one could see it. Anbu, who is usually heavily guarded, is all fighting outside. And those civil servants all slept at home at night. Wang Li came to the door of Mizukage's office without hindrance. Orange, just wait outside. I'll go in and talk to Master Yagura. Shui Wuyucheng looked at Wang Li stubbornly, but Wang Li's indisputable eyes instantly caused Shui Wuyucheng to persuade her. Okay. But if something calls my name, I'll come in right away. Wang Li gave a wry smile and arranged Shui Wuyu Orange outside, just not wanting her to participate in the next battle. After all, even if Yagura was seriously injured, it could not be resisted by Mizuki Orange. However, Wang Li nodded slightly for Shui Wuyucheng's stupidity. Wang Li pushed the door and walked in. At this time, Citrus Orange Yagura was sitting on the chair with an anxious look on his face. Oh, Liren, you are back, the mission is completed. The mission is complete, there is one last thing left. Goji Tangerine Yagura's face was happy, showing an expression of appreciation. You are much better than Songgang's trash. As long as you give you more time to get familiar with him, you will definitely be able to take up his position. And when I retire or die in battle, this Mizukage position can be inherited by you. Songgang is the real person for your good. Wang Li sneered, then took off the mask to reveal a happy expression underneath. Thank you Mizukage-sama for your support, then. Wang Li dropped Anbu's mask and walked towards Yagura step by step. At first Yagura didn't care about it, but later found that Wang Li was getting closer and closer, and she couldn't help frowning. Liren, what else do you have? I came to Master Mizukage to protect you. Although Wang Li answered like this, Yagura couldn't feel relieved. Because Wang Li put one hand on the ninja bag, a finger secretly clasped kunai. Although this is the standard posture of an Anbu when he is on guard, Yagura feels a danger, and the owner of this threat is the 12-year-old child in front of him. Enough to stand there. Goji Tangerine Yagura was not going to let Wang Li approach, because it would be a ninja's attack range to go further. If Wang Li suddenly attacked, he would not even have a chance to react. How can I do it? I have to protect Master Mizukage personally. Give me. Citrus Tangerine Yagura was about to roar when he suddenly found that Wang Li was attacking him with Kuwufei. Kochi Yagura hurriedly dodged aside, but Kuwu still stabbed him on his shoulder, and the blood kept flowing out. Dao Di Liren. What do you mean? Please don't call me Teote Liren. As Wang Li said, he withdrew the bandage on his body, revealing his handsome face under the bandage. My name is Wang Li. Goji Tangerine Yagura looked at Wang Li viciously, and understood everything at this time. The past 2 days have been so unsatisfactory, and the high self suddenly became the target of public criticism. The culprit is this kid in front of you. Wang Li. This name is so familiar. By the way, Konoha is offering a reward of 100 million, and no wounds are allowed, otherwise he will be chased by Konoha endlessly. If there is no second Wang Li, then it is me. I really want to ask, you, a Konoha shinobi, why did you come to disturb our Kurigakure matter? Are you not afraid of causing war? And after that, what good will you have? War. If you die, what war will there be? And I will get the support of a Mizukage. Citrus Yagura's eyes gradually sharpened, and his face was full of anger. Terumi Mei, I should have thought it was her. But do you think you can kill me? How can I know if I don't try? Wang Li snorted and stopped talking nonsense, but quickly rushed towards Yagura. Boom! With a punch, a huge hole was blasted out of the ground in an instant, and the scenery downstairs could still be vaguely seen. Citrus Yagura's heart sighed. If the force of the punch just hit him directly, I am afraid that there will be no chance of rescue. For a moment, Yagura looked at Wang Li with fear. I have never put Wang Li in his eyes, thinking that Wang Li is just a student who has just graduated from the ninja school. So far, Yagura knows that he is wrong, it is ridiculously wrong. Wang Li definitely has the ability to kill himself. Don't be too arrogant, kid, no matter how good your physical skills are, as long as you can't hit me, it will be of no use. Citrus Orange Yagura roared and began to jump. Oh, is it so? Wang Li sneered, his hands began to seal quickly, and for a while, countless fine needles began to appear around him. Lightning style. Spiral needle. Numerous fine needles flew out for a while. Kochi Yagura's pupils shrank sharply, and a dangerous breath came on her face. The thin needle made of the thunder attribute chakra, the dangerous aura on it is not much weaker than the previous physical technique. Boom! Several explosions sounded continuously, and the entire Mizukage building began to sway. Although the spiral needle did not directly hit the Citrus Yagura, the aftermath of the spiral needle passing by swept past it, directly bringing up a piece of flesh and blood. Who on earth are you, kid? Don't you already know that? My name is Wang Li, the man who is about to take your life. Citrus Yagura's eyes went cold. If you are in the best condition, it is naturally easy to avoid this spiral needle. But Yagura's whole body is injured at this time, even with healing jutsu, it's just barely healed. The current strength is less than half of the usual. If this continues, it is really possible to be killed. Boy, do you think you have a chance to win? Then let you try this trick. Citrus Yagura said with a low growl, and then his body crawled on the ground like a beast. For a while, a violent chakra began to spread in the room. Even if Wang Li was a few meters away from the Citrus Yagura, he was still infected by the violent breath. Gradually, Yagura began to turn reddish-brown. The reddish-brown chakra completely encased the Citrus Orange Yagura, and his limbs began to look like beasts, and 3 tails were born behind him. Tailed animalization. Although Wang Li had already done a good job of fighting against the beast-tailed Citrus Yagura, when he really stood in front of him, Chunin couldn't help but start to harry. Ding dong. Trigger selection mission. 1. Run away. The reward is immediately summoning beast. 2. Fight. Reward pupil technique. Amaterasu. Wang Li trembled, and Amaterasu, who had been thinking about it, finally appeared. Amaterasu is known as the strongest fire ninjutsu, claiming to burn everything. Just turn on Amaterasu, and everything you see can be directly ignited. He's so handsome that he has no friends. Yagura, the beast-tailed Mandarin Orange, was taken care of by Uchiha Itachi, Amaterasu. Now with Amaterasu, Wang Li also has a lot of confidence in dealing with Citrus Yagura. I choose to. After turning into a tailed beast, Yagura did not directly attack Wang Li, but looked at Wang Li provocatively. Boy, now you still think you can kill me. Under normal circumstances, if you become a tail beast, your mind will be swept away by the irritable chakra, and finally control of the body is given to the tail beast. However, it is rare that Yagura can control this state. Even after being transformed into a tailed animal, his mind is still clear. But more or less will be affected by that irritable chakra. How can I know if I don't try? Wang Li sneered, his pupils turning blood red. When Yagura saw Wang Li's pupils, he couldn't help taking a step back, with a look of fear on his face. It's the eyes again, I must gouge your eyes out today. Wang Li smiled slightly. Looking at the look of Yagura, Uchiha Itachi obviously cast a psychological shadow. Then Wang Li slowly closed his eyes and gathered chakra in Sharingan. Suddenly Wang Li's eyes opened sharply, and a piece of blood slowly flowed down from his eye sockets, but a gust of coolness wrapped his eyeballs, covering up the intense pain. Amaterasu. For a while, a black flame lit up in front of Wang Li's eyes, but because of the first use, it did not directly burn the citrus orange Yagura. Citrus Yagura saw the black flame, and a look of fear appeared in his eyes. How could you use this ninjutsu? Citrus Tangerine Yagura kept moving in the room with fear, but the originally small room was quickly ignited by black flames. Wang Li gradually got used to the rhythm of Amaterasu. Amaterasu is not in the true sense of seeing where to burn. Instead, the pupils must focus on one point. Just like a magnifying glass, only the spot that is focused will burn up first, and then spread towards the outside. Wang Li didn't think about increasing the range of Amaterasu. It's just that the range of Amaterasu has just increased a bit, and the chakra in the body begins to flow quickly. In just 1 second, a large portion of the chakra in the body was used up. Even if Wang Li had an intermediate sage body and Baihao technique, he couldn't stand such a waste. Yagura, you have nowhere to go, you have to die. Want to kill me? Let's have another 10,000 years. Citrus Yagura snorted coldly, and then hit the window directly with his body. Following a burst of broken glass, Yagura Citrus escaped directly from the Mizukage office building. However, there were also a lot of black flames on the windows. When Yagura jumped out, a few black flames were stuck on his body. Although the flame is not big, but the flame that claims to be able to burn even chakra, as long as it is touched, there will be no slag left. Wang Li smiled triumphantly, and quickly put away the black flames in the room. Then he walked to the window and looked down. At this time, several strands of black flames on Yagura's body had completely spread. The citrus Yagura is completely enveloped in black flames. And because Yagura was struggling, the black flame was scattered, and several ninjas around were all set ablaze. If it was someone else, Wang Li would have left long ago and didn't need to pay any more attention. But for Yagura, you only need to retreat to beastization. The black flame has nothing to burn, it will go out. Therefore, Wang Li must watch Yagura die in order to be truly at ease. Sure enough, after Yagura withdrew from the tail beastization, the black flame also disappeared. But now Yagura fell to the ground, panting heavily. He didn't even have the strength to stand up. Orange, come here for a while. Hearing Wang Li's call, Shui Wuyucheng ran in quickly. But when she saw Wang Li bleeding in tears, Shui Wuyucheng suddenly became anxious. What's wrong with your eyes? Go find a medical ninja. Wang Li smiled bitterly and shook his head, and handed the golden shining kuwu to Shui Wuyu Orange with one hand. One hand is gently wiping blood and tears. I won't get in the way. You can run as fast as you can with this kuwu. Only if you run far enough, I have a chance to survive. Then why don't you run together? Shui Wuyucheng looked at Wang Li worriedly. Holding Wang Li's clothes corner with one hand, he tried to persuade Wang Li to go together. I still have something to do. If I don't complete it, all my previous efforts will be wasted. Shui Wuyucheng smiled bitterly as Wang Li did. After 2 days of contact, Shui Wuyucheng also understood Wang Li's character. As long as it was Wang Li's decision, even the 9 cows could not be brought back. But in the same way, Wang Li would never do anything unsure. Okay, I'll listen to you, you must come back. Shui Wuyucheng placed the kuwu given by Wang Li on her chest. It's like holding some treasure in your hand. Don't worry, I will come back safely. After Shui Wuyucheng left, Wang Li took up a mask to cover his face. After a few impressions of his hands, a light blue ball gradually gathered and floated directly above Wang Li's palm. Yagura, you are undoubtedly dead today, Wang Li said, holding up Rasengan and rushing towards Yagura. Although Yagura has lost his mobility, he still has a trace of consciousness. Seeing Wang Li killing him, a look of fear appeared on his face. And Songgang, who had a huge advantage on one side, realized that something was wrong in an instant, and immediately shouted to Wang Li, Dao Di Liren, what are you doing, stop. Wang Li didn't dare to stop, because although the 3 major families were fighting against Yagura's forces at this time, they were all Kurigakers after all. If you let them know that they are outside Kurigakure, Wang Lima will become a target. Kurigakure's people can kill Kurigakure's people, but no one else can. The special object is 4th Mizukage of Yagura Kurigakure. Go to hell. Several Anbu around Yagura stood in front of him immediately, looking at Wang Li with vigilant eyes. If you want to kill Lord Mizukage, pass our level first. Wang Li didn't have time to say anything. Sharingan began to focus, and a black flame appeared out of thin air. Amaterasu. After previous practice, Wang Li Amaterasu's hit rate has been improved. In just 1 second, all 5 people in front of him were ignited. It turns out that you set this flame. Who are you? By the way, Rasengan, you are Konoha's ninja. When Yagura was defeated by Uchiha Itachi, Matsuoka was by his side. He was extremely impressed with the blood-red pupils, and he conducted a detailed investigation later. And what Wang Li holds in his hands is 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato's other famous ninjutsu. Konoha rebels, Wang Li. Since the identity can no longer be hidden, Wang Li simply said it directly. The speed increased again, and he quickly came to Yagura's side. Yagura, I'm here to relieve you. Rasengan hit the citrus orange Yagura directly, and the whole ground was sunken because of lying on the ground. At first there was an expression of pain on Yagura's face, but then a smile rose on his face. Thanks. Wang Li was stunned for a moment, thinking most of the time before his death that Yagura had solved the illusion. The last thank you is also the best proof. But it's not that Yagura is grateful to herself, others will spare Wang Li. At this time, the fighting between the 3 major families and Anbu stopped, and a pair of eyes stared at Wang Li. Konoha's betrayal came to our side and killed Master Mizukage. Don't let him run away. Yes, absolutely can't let him run away. Wang Li looked at the ninjas who kept approaching around him, his face became solemn. Wanting to leave is actually very simple. You only need to use the thunder breaking technique, and you can leave here in an instant. But besides killing Yagura, Wang Li has one more important thing, and that is to seal the 3 tails. Wang Li kept making seals with both hands, and then pressed hard on the ground. Suddenly, stone walls erected around Wang Li, enclosing Wang Li. Earth-style, iron wall prison. Then Wang Li continued to seal, hundreds of shadow clone appeared around. I can only do so much, then the next step is to seal. Wang Li snorted coldly, then took out a scroll and spread it on the ground. Wang Li specifically consulted Orochimaru for the specific method of sealing the tail beast. However, since it was not copied by the system, it was very rusty to use. After reading the information provided by Terumi Mei, it succeeded a few times. But it was the first time it was actually used to seal the tail beast. Wang Li bit his finger and began to seal. In order to prevent the mistake of the seal, Wang Li's speed was very slow. Because there is only one chance for Wang Li, and forever if he makes a mistake. Give it to me. Wang Li pressed his palm firmly on the scroll, staining his own blood. Suddenly the runes on the scroll began to beat, a huge suction force almost sucked Wang Li in. After Wang Li fled to the side, the mandarin orange Yagura not far away floated and slowly floated to the top of the scroll. All of the clothes on Yagura's abdomen were torn to pieces for a while, and a huge pulling force kept dragging something. Wang Li became nervous. Although ninjutsu was successful, This ninjutsu was a semi-finished product of Orochimaru, the first scientist in the ninjutsu world. Even Orochimaru hasn't really used it. Therefore, it is still unknown whether the seal can be truly successful. I saw a behemoth being dragged out, and the navy blue skin gave people a dangerous breath. Boy, what are you doing to me? The loud sound shook Wang Li's ears more than 10 meters away, and even some of the shadow clones that were nearby the test were directly broken. No, that kid's goal is Isofu. For a while, the Mist Shinobi ninja became solemn. Three Tails is a big threat if it is not used well, but if it is used well, it is a big hole card. For Kurigakure, Isosuke is the biggest hole card. All the Kurigakure ninjas rushed over like crazy. Wang Li looked at everything in front of him anxiously. Because of Orochimaru's trick, it really works. Isosuke's huge body was dragged out of Kodachi Yagura's body, and then it was compressed and sealed in the scroll little by little. There was originally a blank space in the middle of the scroll, but at this time half of Three Tails was painted on it. And as the seal keeps being used, the scroll is gradually being completed. Boy, from the beginning, I knew you were not a good person. I didn't expect you to be so premeditated. I must kill you today. Wang Li frowned, but he didn't expect Songgang to break through the siege and directly slam in front of him. Get out of here! Wang Li roared and threw a punch directly. Boom! An impartial fist hit Songgang's face directly, and the whole person flew out, rolling for a long time before stopping. How is it possible that you are so strong? I don't have time to talk to you now. If you bother me again, I will send you to see Yagura, citrus. Songgang always thought that Wang Li was just a beaming clown who could slacken his beard and slap a horse, and his strength was at best chunin. Only now did I know that not only was he inferior to him in IQ, he was not even an opponent of ninjutsu. Finally, with an unwilling roar, Three Tails was completely sealed in the scroll. Wang Li hurriedly put away the scroll, and then quickly mobilized chakra in his body. With a burst of yellow flash, Wang Li disappeared directly. Where's that kid? What about people? Golden glitter. Flying thunder god technique. What the hell Konoha wants to do? The fourth generation is dead, what should we do? The battlefield was quiet for a while, and everyone looked at each other and the atmosphere suddenly became heavy. Relying on the Fei Lei breaking technique, Wang Li instantly came to Shui Wuyucheng's side. Shui Wuyucheng's face rose red, and she didn't expect Wang Li to appear suddenly. If it weren't for the good enough psychological quality, I'm afraid I would be scared to death here. You didn't say what this kuwu is for, I thought it was a gift you gave me. Shui Wuyucheng said, her voice gradually softened, and the last few words were like mosquitoes. Wang Li almost laughed. Who would give something like kuwu as a gift to others? Especially for a member of the opposite gender. Excuse me, can I bother? Just when Wang Li was about to speak, a voice came from behind, which shocked Wang Li. Wang Li followed the voice, and his heart was shaken. Hongyunhai overcoat, with a chrysanthemum-colored mask on his face, with only one hole in it, just showing his right eye, just like a chrysanthemum. Uchiha Obito. Wang Li didn't dare to speak, because an existence like Uchiha Obito was completely beyond the reach of Wang Li. Seeing Wang Li's expression, Uchiha Obito jumped into a dance. Could it be that you still know me, Afei? Wang Li sneered in his heart. Uchiha Obito always called himself Afei, and later even used the name Uchiha Madara. Citrus Yagura became cruel because of Uchiha Obito's illusion, turning Kurigakure into blood mist. He is a very dangerous person. Akatsuki, your hands have reached Kurigakure. In front of Uchiha Obito, Wang Li did not dare to show that he knew too much, fearing that he would kill him if he said the wrong thing. After all, with Wang Li's current strength, he is not Uchiha Obito's opponent at all. I have been hearing about Akatsuki for a long time, and there are some tasks that are inconvenient for several major countries. Now, what task has Kurigakure received? It turns out that our Akatsuki organization is already so famous. I'm so happy. Wang Li looked at Uchiha Obito dancing, but he didn't dare to be careless. Raise my heart all the time. Why stop me suddenly with no way? Because I think you are very interesting. You just became Konoha's rebel, and now you kill Kurigakure's Mizukage. I wonder if you are interested in joining Akatsuki. Join Akatsuki. Wang Li never expected that Uchiha Obito had come to win him over, and Three Tails would not talk about it. But Wang Li didn't dare to really join Xiao organization. Because the ninjas in Akatsuki's organization are almost all cage-level strengths, and the last one also has elite Jonin, but they also have special abilities. If you join the Akatsuki organization, there is always the possibility of being killed. It is not Wang Li's character to give his life to someone else's master. I refuse, I still like to be free by myself. We know that the organization is relatively loose, and you can do whatever you want, but when you are assigned a task, you have to complete it. Really, have you been the master? Wang Li asked with a smirk. Uchiha Obito was using the name Alfie at this time, and Alfie was just a peripheral member, and he really didn't have the right to absorb Wang Li. I can refer you to you. You can come to Xiao to try it out. If it doesn't work, you can withdraw. As long as you don't encounter the core problem, you are free to enter and exit. Wang Li noticed that Uchiha Obito was determined to pull himself into the group. If Wang Li refuses blindly, he might be completely annoyed. So the next topic is not simply not buying goods, but three tails. Okay, let me give it a try. Anyway, I have offended the 5 big countries. Maybe it is the best choice to go to the organization. But I still have something to do in the country of water. I will come to you at that time. Hearing Wang Li's answer, Uchiha Obito danced again. Watching his exaggerated dance, it feels like a clown in a circus. Great, I brought a master into the organization, then I will definitely become a full member. Wang Li smiled bitterly. Uchiha Obito has a super shadow, but always pretends to be a Fei who doesn't understand anything. But at this time, only 3 of them knew a Fei's strength. The first one is Uchiha Itachi. Although Uchiha Itachi has amazing talents, it was absolutely impossible for him to kill the Uchiha clan by himself. And Uchiha Itachi, who was disappointed in the Uchiha clan, approached Uchiha Obito to help him complete this difficult task. And Uchiha Itachi joined Akatsuki, also led by Uchiha Obito. The next 2 are also the founders of Akatsuki. Nagato Konan. In fact, there should be Yahiko, but only Nagato and Konan knew about Yahiko when he died. Okay, I won't bother you and your little girlfriend to be gentle, I'll leave first, and then go to the pier to find me. Uchiha Obito said, and with a light wave of one hand, the whole person disappeared out of thin air. Who is this person? Shui Wuyucheng was puzzled. Yazihu doesn't look very good. The corner of Wang Li's mouth twitched. However, Shui Wuyucheng's newborn calves are not afraid of tigers, and Wang Li is unwilling to explain more. The most important thing is that Uchiha Obito can't be seen by the eyes, but he is definitely still nearby, because the most important thing is still on Wang Li. Let's go, this place is not safe, maybe Anbu will chase him right away. Along the way, Shui Wuyu Orange asked about Xiao's organization several times, but Wang Li chose not to answer. Putting Buddha Shui Wuyu Orange has never existed. Finally, after 10 minutes, Wang Li arrived outside Terumi Mei's base. Looking up, the stronghold was crowded with ninjas. And the leader of these ninjas is Terumi Mei. Wang Li stood firm, and didn't mean to continue going in. Instead, he took out a scroll from behind and handed it to Shui Wuyu Orange. Leave this thing to Terumi Mei. Akatsuki's goal is the 3 Isosuke. Even if Uchiha Obito does not speak now, he will ask for it sooner or later. However, Wang Li currently does not have the power to protect Three Tails Jifu, so it is better to put it on Terumi Mei's side to be safer. It's all at the door, don't you give it to her yourself. My current identity is inconvenient. Wang Li said, shook his head slightly. Wang Li killed 4th Mizukage Yagura, even if it was for Kurigaku's sake, he would definitely become a target. Even Terumi Mei becomes 5th Mizukage, and will be pressured to initiate a wanted order. The originally stupid Shui Wuyucheng had his head suddenly brightened, and his eyes were covered with a layer of mist. Are you leaving Kurigaku? You are a hero, obviously you are all for Kurigaku, but Kurigaku can't tolerate you, is this fair? Stupid girl, these misunderstandings will be resolved sooner or later. Maybe I will be back then. Okay, I'll leave first so that Anbu won't find out. Shui Wuyucheng looked at Wang Li's back and became dull. I will definitely help you rectify your name in Kurigaku, and don't forget, if you kiss me, you will definitely be responsible to the end. Wang Li arrived at the agreed place. After waiting for less than a minute, the red cloud and black coat appeared beside Wang Li silently. Wang Li's heart sighed. The feeling of silently appearing behind others is very bad and makes people feel very insecure. Now Uchiha Obito has no intention of killing, but if he has the intention of killing, he will not even know how to die. Aha, Wang Li-kun, you are here, it seems I have been thinking too much. The corner of Wang Li's mouth twitched. I have to say that Uchiha Obito, who is currently playing a Fei, is indeed a little bit old, no wonder Deidara will beat him at every turn. You said that if Akatsuki is not suitable for me, I can quit. Don't worry, what Alfie said is absolutely reliable. Wang Libai glanced at him, watching Uchiha Obito owe him, he wanted to go up and kick him. Then where are we going now? Rain Country, I will take you to see the members of Akatsuki organization. Wang Li's heart sighed. The current Rain Country is basically controlled by Akatsuki, and there are only 2 people staying in the Rain Country all year round. Nagato, Conan. Wang immediately looked forward and a little scared. After all, whether it is Nagato or Conan, it is equal to a humanoid self-propelled nuclear bomb. Even Jiraiya died of lack of intelligence. Suddenly Wang Li recovered, with an expression of fear on his face. Even Uchiha Obito, who was dancing on the side, stopped. Looking at Wang Li quietly. Wang Li-kun, is there any inconvenience? Wang Li raised his trembling hand and waved it, squeezing a bitter smile on his face. You have to take a boat to go to the country of rain, right? Yeah, isn't this normal? Could it be your enemy in the country of rain? Don't worry, someone will help you deal with it after joining the Akatsuki organization. At this time, Uchiha Obito's voice became a bit cold, completely out of Alfie's setting. Through the hole in the mask, a blood-red pupil can be seen inside. It's not that there are any enemies, but is there any way not to take a boat? What? Uchiha Obito instantly put away his guard, looking at Wang Li exaggeratedly. How can I get to the country of rain without taking a boat? Well, fine, let the ship hurry. On the sea, Uchiha Obito finally knew why Wang Li showed such a scared expression. After Wang Li got on the boat, not long after driving out, he began to vomit on the side of the boat. And now it has been vomiting for several hours, sitting on the side of the boat, with an expression of unlovable expression on his face. Uchiha Obito squeezed a cold sweat. Fortunately, I didn't give Wang Li the red cloud and black coat of Shao organization. Shao organization can't afford to lose this person. A few days later, the shadow of the earth gradually appeared in the distance. Uchiha Obito stood beside Wang Li, overjoyed. Wang Li-kun, stay here for a while and you will soon be in the country of rain. Wang Li, who was barely alive, suddenly saw his eyes light up, and the flying body turned over from the deck. Uchiha Obito's black pupils instantly turned blood red, and murderous auras appeared on his body, and the crew of the entire ship couldn't help shaking. But when Wang Li was running, the corners of Uchiha Obito's mouth twitched. This Wang Li, shouldn't he want to run over? It was the first time Uchiha Obito saw seasickness that he could faint like this. You must know that although the shadow of the mainland can be seen on the ship, the true distance is at least 10 kilometers. It will take at least a few hours to run by leaning on it. Although ninjas run much faster than ordinary people, they consume a lot of chakra. If chakra is not enough, then sink directly into the bottom of the sea to feed the fish. Now that Wang Li ran away, Uchiha Obito couldn't stay on the boat, and disappeared in place with a wave of one hand. Captain, the 2 ninjas on the deck ran away. What? Running here, is it impatient to live? They haven't paid yet. Ha, charge up and kill them. Wang Li, who jumped from the deck, was full of ecstasy. Although the waves on the sea are big, they are better than seasickness on a boat. Wang Li once thought whether he had eaten devil fruit. As long as they board the ship, they will completely lose their combat effectiveness. Wang Li ran comfortably on the sea, and suddenly felt a huge monster approaching behind him. Turning his head and looking at it, it was the ship he had been on before. Boy, hurry up and pay the fare, or you will be killed. The corners of Wang Li's mouth twitched continuously, and his feet began to run fast. It was not that Wang Li was unwilling to give money, but that it would be too late if he didn't run at this speed. Wang Li ran quickly. But no matter how fast people are, how can they be better than boats? While Wang Li tried to change several directions, the ship turned around immediately. Boy, I'll run into it if I don't pay any more. Wang Li got up all at once, and was chased down the street, and his temper would come up. Especially Wang Ligang came out of the blood mist with a thick hostility. Multiple shadow clone techniques. Water style. Water dragon bomb technique. A water dragon rushed to the big ship, but the water dragon did not choose to hit, but disintegrated and fell off when the ship was directly above it. Boy, are you playing a water splash game? For a while, everyone on the boat laughed presumptuously. The corners of Wang Li's mouth rose slightly, and a smirk appeared on his face. Lightning style. Chidori. For a while, the arc strung directly onto the ship along the water. The ship was just wetted by the water dragon bomb, and the arc hit everyone instantly. For a while, there were waves of wailing from the ship. And near Wang Li, Uchiha Obito, wearing a red cloud and black coat, convulsed constantly. Wang Li-kun, next time you can be on the water, don't use lightning style. After an hour of running, Wang Li finally went ashore. The first time Wang Li went ashore was to lie on the beach, feeling the blessings of Mother Earth. Uchiha Obito went ashore a few minutes later. It is not because Uchiha Obito is slower than Wang Li. It is really afraid of Wang Li's lightning style. Lightning style is almost invincible on the water. In order to hide Uchiha Obito's identity, he can only choose to distance himself. Wang Li-kun, I really regret taking the boat with you. Uchiha Obito sat down on the beach and controlled chakra to walk on the water for nearly an hour. Even Uchiha Obito couldn't bear it. But Uchiha Obito did not do nothing because of this. I didn't know where to take out a red cloud black coat and threw it directly to Wang Li. Wang Li picked up the black coat of Hongyun and gave a wry smile. Unexpectedly, I would wear this dress one day and join the Akatsuki organization. Aka, I'm here. The country of rain, as its name implies, is a country shrouded in rain for many years. The ninja in the country of rain does not bring anything but will definitely bring a raincoat. Don't underestimate the drizzle. The human body is not as strong as imagined. Especially in the wild, prolonged rain can easily cause a cold, which will have a great impact on the tasks performed next. Only then did Wang Li understand the purpose of Xiao's organization coat. The red cloud black coat felt smooth, and it was obviously rain-proof. If it really rains, just wear another rain hat and everything is okay. However, thinking of Xiao organizing a group of people to perform tasks outside wearing a raincoat all day long, she couldn't help but shook her head. Wang Li followed Uchiha Obito for a long time, finally came to the village, and then entered a tall building. A Fei is back. What ninja did you bring back this time? It seems that this time I can turn into a fuller position. Uchiha Obito in the village is still like a passerby, but the clothes they wore attracted many people's attention. After entering the building, many people seemed to know Uchiha Obito and even came up to say hello. Uchiha Obito, as always, all kinds of exaggerations. If you don't use this way of expression, you can't express your inner thoughts. And the people around seemed to be used to all this a long time ago. But after a long time, there are very few ninjas wearing red clouds and black coats, basically wearing ordinary ninja green vests. Finally Uchiha Obito took Wang Li to a small room, pushed the door in, and finally saw the two wearing red clouds and black coats again. Yahiko, Konan. Yahiko was sitting on the chair by the window, while Konan was standing aside. It stands to reason that the two grew up together, and the relationship was very strong, and they would not say a word. But even though Konan is standing beside Yahiko, he doesn't have any expression of looking at his best friend, and it is more sad. Wang Li is very clear about the reason. Yahiko was killed by Hanzo and Shimura Danzo during the Third Ninja War. Later, Yahiko was made by Nagato into Heavenly Path Pen, which is what Yahiko is now. Afei, you are back. What ninja did you bring back this time? This time the ninja is very powerful. It is the one who was rewarded by Konoha with a reward of 100 million. And the Citrus Yagura who assassinated Kurigakure just a few days ago. Uchiha Obito was dancing and talking, but he was more disciplined than outside. The action also seemed very unnatural. Hearing Uchiha Obito's introduction, Yahiko and Konan couldn't help but turn their heads and looked up and down Wang Li. I've heard of your rumors. I wanted to invite you myself, Yahiko said cautiously, and a pair of Wang Li who was watching Rinnegan was hairy. Konan is worthy of being a girl, and he immediately noticed Wang Li's formality and walked over with a smile on his face. This is you. Except for Hokage from the Land of Fire, the newly appointed Mizukage from the Land of Water is also wanted for you. Conan walked over to Wang Li, took out a reward order and handed it to Wang Li. When Wang Li saw the content on the reward, he couldn't help but smile. Wang Li, assassinated 4th Mizukage and stolen 3 tails Gifu, now you only need to take Wang Li back to Kurigakure for a reward of 150 million. Don't hurt Wang Li, or treat it as an enemy to the country of rain. Wang Li didn't expect that he would actually increase the price. However, Wang Li felt that this was not just a reward order, it was an announcement of the earth-shaking changes in the Kingdom of Water. Just mentioning 3 tails is very detrimental to Wang Li. Because at this time Wang Li is at the base camp of Akatsuki's organization. Don't the Akatsuki organization say not to look at the past, but to only look at personal strength? Why is it now beginning to be afraid of the country of water? Conan frowned. Wang Li's words were harsh, but he chose to explain them patiently. Our Akatsuki organization is not afraid of any country, and this reward is to test whether you are eligible to join Akatsuki. Wang Li-kun is definitely qualified, but he turned on Mangekyo Sharingan, and Amaterasu beat 4th Mizukage to the point where he couldn't take care of himself. The strength is definitely enough. When it came to Mangekyo Sharingan, Yahiko, who had been watching quietly, stood up and walked directly to Wang Li's side. Mangekyo Sharingan, open it to me if you are interested. After Yahiko walked to his side, a huge pressure came, making Wang Li almost breathless. Upon receiving the dangerous breath, Wang Li's pupils instantly turned blood red. Sure enough, it is Mangekyo Sharingan, and your eyes are very similar to Itachi. Are you a real brother? Sweat dripped from Wang Li's forehead. Before Sharingan awakened Mangekyo, they were almost exactly the same, nothing more than the difference in the number of Guyu. But as long as Mangekyo is awakened, Sharingan's appearance is almost different for everyone. Even if they were brothers, Mangekyo Sharingan's appearance was very different. But Wang Li is an exception. Because Wang Li didn't awaken Mangekyo Sharingan by himself, but by the system. Wang Li himself had seen it in the mirror, almost exactly the same as Uchiha Itachi. Moreover, Wang Li's eyes are almost the same as Uchiha Itachi. Ding dong. Trigger selection mission. 1. Escape from the country of rain. Reward. Blood following the boundary. Bing done. 2. Persuading not to speak. Reward. Blood following the boundary. Boil style. 3. Fascinated by the heavens and pay, and show your strength. Reward. Blood following the boundary. Byakugan. Wang Li was ecstatic in his heart, but he didn't expect to brush 3 blood succession boundaries at once. After tasting the sweetness of blood succession boundary, Wang Li wanted to add 1 more urgently, but he didn't expect to use Kurigakure as soon as he came out. Bing Dun and Wang Li of Boil Style have seen Shui Wuyu Orange and Terumi Mei. They are so powerful that they can basically crush the existence of the same level. But Wang Li knew very well that in the later stages, he basically looked at whose cosmetic contact lenses were good. Especially when Byakugan evolves to the end, it can evolve into Tensegan, and Wang Li will naturally not miss the existence of destroying the world. I choose 3. Suddenly a sharp pain came from Wang Li's right eye. The industrious ant appeared again, constantly biting his eyeballs. Wang Li's blood-red pupils gradually turned white, but fortunately they were blocked by the flowing sea, and they didn't look so obvious. Do you check your household registration? As long as you are strong enough, you can enter the Akatsuki organization. Yahiko frowned slightly, and a sneer appeared on his face. The young man is very courageous, then I will test your strength, whether you are qualified to join Akatsuki. Yahiko waved a big hand and was about to enter the battle state. Conan, who was on the side, came over and stopped in front of Yahiko. You should rest there, I will try this young man. Conan said that his body gradually turned into pieces of paper, and his eyes looked at Wang Li sharply. Come on, young man. Wang Li breathed a sigh of relief. If the opponent is Yahiko, he really doesn't know if he will be killed in seconds. But if it's Conan, it's not necessarily. At least the purpose for now is to show strength, not to defeat or even kill Conan. For a time Conan turned into pieces of paper, and kept flying around Wang Li. Wang Li's eyes became solemn, and he looked around carefully. All the surrounding papers gathered for a while, and instantly wrapped Wang Li. This is the ability to kill Mizukage. Yahiko laughed disapprovingly, then turned around and wanted to go back to the balcony. Suddenly a black flame appeared on the paper. After a while, the black flame ignited all the paper. Oh, Amaterasu. Interesting. The paper flew away quickly, and Conan looked at Wang Li with fear. Wang Li looked down. At this moment, Conan's clothes were torn apart. You are fine, but as long as I am fast enough, your Amaterasu can't catch up with me. Conan snorted coldly. The pieces of paper flew around again, forming paper avatars. Can you still find me now? Wang Li sneered and secretly opened Byakugan. For a while, the entire room was in Wang Li's eyes, whether it was Wang Li's front or back. Even downstairs can be seen clearly. Wang Li couldn't help but wipe the blood from the people, and quickly patted his face to force himself to be serious. Saw something you shouldn't see. Wang Li became serious for a while, and all the paper clones were in Wang Li's sight. It's here, Wang Li sneered, and a ball appeared on his palm, spinning continuously. Give it to me. Wang Lifi rushed over, so fast that Conan didn't even react. No, how did he find me? Conan's face was pale, and he hurriedly let the paper avatar next to him run over and block in front of him. Boom! Rasengan directly hit the paper avatar, and the huge penetrating power knocked Conan directly behind the paper avatar. Yahiko couldn't help but frown, but he stretched out again when he saw that Conan was not injured much. Boy, I admit that you succeeded in angering me, and then I'm going to be true. For a time, countless pieces of paper gathered behind Conan, and a pair of white wings appeared in an instant. And the flying papers around weren't all used up, they were still flying. Now Wang Li's strongest attack is Amaterasu, and these non-stop flying pieces of paper have greatly restricted Amaterasu's hit rate. Conan raised it high with one hand, and a spear made of paper slowly gathered. Wang Li smiled disapprovingly. As long as he was fast enough, Conan would never shoot himself. Finally Conan's spears gathered together. The surrounding pieces of paper were not flying around randomly, but gathered around Wang Li quickly. No matter how fast Wang Li was, he couldn't hold up a small house with a lot of paper. No, my feet are entangled. Conan smiled triumphantly, and chakra kept converging towards the spear. Wang Li's face became cold. Although the pieces of paper are easy to break open, it will take a while for the endless stream of pieces of paper to crack, and now it is completely too late. Little devil, everything is over, except death. The spear flew out with a force of destruction, and the room kept shaking, and the Buddha would collapse at any time. Boom! There was a violent explosion, and the spear directly penetrated the building, raising a cloud of dust. Conan turned to look at Uchiha Obito, and couldn't help frowning. You didn't save him. What are you kidding? How can I save that kid in such an attack? Uchiha Obito exaggerated, and suddenly became serious. Besides, Wang Li-kun doesn't need me to save it. Conan puckered in his heart and hurriedly searched. Suddenly a dangerous breath came out from behind. Conan hurriedly turned his head and saw Wang Li's body bend down slightly, his hands opened, one high and the other low. 8 trigrams 128 palms. Wang Li kept attacking Conan with both hands, and every time he attacked Conan, the acupuncture point was blocked. In less than 3 seconds, Conan's body had 128 acupuncture points, all of which were sealed. Conan fell to the ground, looking at Wang Li in disbelief. After the acupuncture point was sealed, chakra couldn't move a little on his body, and he wanted to force it, but he coughed up a bit of blood. How is it possible? How did he escape the shackles of my paper? And at that little distance, even if he escapes the shackles, there is no time to escape. It's Flying Thunder God technique. Uchiha Obito said solemnly. Without the exaggerated movements of a Fey before, there was a dangerous atmosphere on his body. Flying Thunder God technique. 4th Hokage's famous ninjutsu. Yahiko frowned slightly. This kid can actually Flying Thunder God technique. Conan clutched his chest and coughed. Although Conan didn't fight Wang Li seriously because of his contempt, he was defeated if he was defeated. On the battlefield, because of contempt, the opponent will spare your life. I lost. Wang Li sniffed his hand, a smirk appeared on his face. Then am I eligible to join Akatsuki now? Since the 3 of them all misunderstood that they were Flying Thunder God technique, Wang Li didn't need to explain anything. With this ninjutsu, at least it can make them fearful. Your strength surprised me. You are indeed qualified to join our Akatsuki organization. Yahiko said seriously, walking to Konan to help him up. Then who do you think should be grouped with him? Konan said seriously. Yahiko fell into thought suddenly. It was not because Wang Li was too weak or too strong, but because Wang Li was too difficult to control now. Although many people in Akatsuki's organization can defeat Wang Li. However, Wang Li had the Flying Thunder God technique, it was almost impossible to kill Wang Li. At this moment, Yahiko moved his gaze to Uchiha Obito, with a smile at the corner of his mouth. Afei, didn't you always want to become a full member? This time seeing you bring back such a powerful character, you made an exception to make you a full member of Akatsuki. And he will be your teammate. Really? Uchiha Obito showed an exaggerated posture and ran back and forth in the room quickly to express his excitement. But Wang Li's face suddenly became serious. The last thing Wang Li wants to team up is Uchiha Obito. Uchiha Obito has Kamui, who can put his body into the void, and can also seal others in the void. Strength is definitely a first-class existence. Yahiko arranged Uchiha Obito by Wang Li's side, which is also a kind of surveillance and control. What, Wang Li-kun, do you have any comments? Since teaming up with Uchiha Obito, he has been constantly suffering from his mental pollution. Every day he chirps and makes Wang Li a head or two. Afei, I warn you not to be arguing, or I will tear your mouth. Hey, we are not partners, how can you say such things? Wang Li gave Uchiha Obito a vicious look. If he hadn't known his true identity, he would have beaten him. At this moment, Wang Li's ring flashed. Wang Li looked down, and the silver-white ring had a yellow background with the word thunder written in the middle. Although Wang Li didn't understand the meaning, it was probably related to his Fei Lei Po technique. The ring flashes, which means that there is an urgent task and must enter the communication space for a meeting. The medium of communication space is the ring on the finger. Wang Li and Uchiha Obito hurriedly found a safe corner, folded their hands together, and gathered all chakra on the ring. When Wang Li and Uchiha Obito entered, everyone had been waiting for a long time. Wang Li's appearance instantly attracted everyone's attention. After all, the eyes of the new faces were full of curiosity. Uchiha Itachi frowned. Wang Li, I didn't expect it to be you, kid. It seems that I won't have a chance to find you in the future. Hoshigaki Kisame snorted, and said uncomfortably. Wang Li scratched his head embarrassedly under his head, not daring to look at Uchiha Itachi with his eyes. It was not that Wang Li felt guilty for Uchiha Itachi. But Uchiha Itachi is too careful, but every member of Akatsuki's organization will set up a pre-position illusion for each other in the face. As long as you act on him, this illusion will be triggered. Wang Li also planned to set it up at the beginning, but only Yahiko Konan and Uchiha Obito had met before. There is also Sharingan in Uchiha Obito's words, and Wang Li dare not look for death and use illusions on him. Konan's words had no chance to be used at all. Yahiko's words are already dead, and his prefabricated illusion skills will not work at all. Yes, today I asked you to introduce 2 new members. Everyone, Afei, should know each other. As for this Wang Li, I wonder if you have heard of it. Of course I have heard that this kid was originally worth 100 million, but now it has risen to 150 million, and I started to move a little bit. Kakuzu smiled sullenly and looked at Wang Li greedily with a pair of eyes. Kakuzu is the legendary man who fought with first Hokage and then retired. A shuriken technique stunned Senju Hashirama. In terms of strength, Kakuzu only has the strength of the elite Jonin, but with special abilities, 5 hearts can be placed in the body, which is equivalent to 5 lives. If there is insufficient information, it is easy to be caught by Kakuzu. Kakuzu, don't underestimate Wang Li. He defeated Konan before he was qualified to enter the Akatsuki organization. What, he defeated Konan? Kakuzu looked at Wang Li incredulously. Konan's strength. Kakuzu knows very well that if he really wants to fight, he is definitely not Konan's opponent. Konan actually lost to the kid in front of him, which made Kakuzu a little unacceptable. And even more shocking than the angle is Hoshigaki Kisame. Hoshigaki Kisame has fought against Wang Li before. Although Wang Li's methods are varied, his strength is nothing more than Chunin's appearance. Just know Wang Li's information, and a Jonin can kill him. But not long ago, Wang Li's strength increased rapidly, and he was able to defeat Conan. Itachi, I believe you, this kid is indeed a genius, and he has made so much progress in such a short time. Uchiha Itachi did not reply, but looked at Wang Li with sharp eyes. Sharingan and Byakugan, a word instantly made everyone's eyes focused on Wang Li again. Because of Lu Hai's problem, everyone only saw Wang Li's Sharingan. And now Uchiha Itachi reminded him, everyone finally discovered Wang Li's Byakugan. Double blood follows the boundary, this kid is really ruthless. Generally speaking, there can only be one type of blood succession boundary, and only Terumime is found for the time being in the double blood succession boundary. And Wang Li alone possesses the two major pupil techniques of Konoha. The first reaction to people was that they took the eyes of the Hyuga family. I started to understand why Konoha issued this reward order, and Kurigakure's reward order is almost understood, this kid is really cruel. Angle sneered, and his eyes looked at Wang Li more greedily. Since the kidnapping of Princess Hyuga in Konoha village last time, the branch house has been sealed by Caged Bird. As long as the person dies or the eyeballs are taken away, Byakugan will be completely destroyed. From then on, if you want to capture Byakugan, you must kidnap Hyuga's clan. On the black market, the price of the Hyuga clan has already been fired to the sky. Especially Wang Li's other eye was Sharingan, which made the greedy Kakuzu's eyes more heated. Wang Li didn't mean to explain at all. Let's not talk about whether the explanation is useful or not. Now Wang Li is trying to misunderstand the people of Shao organization. The members of Akatsuki's organization are all rebels, with more or less murder cases behind them. Only if you are ruthless enough can others be jealous of you. Otherwise, Shao organizes these people, and sooner or later they will take you. Well, don't discuss Wang Li-kun, let me talk about the second thing that called you to come this time. Yahiko spoke, and everyone was quiet for a while. This time our goal is the Kingdom of Thunder. After receiving a secret report, we found that Eight Tails is in the Kingdom of Thunder. Now I arrange for Wang Li and Afei to go by boat, and whoever is nearby will also go and help. Wang Li is now in the country of rain. He used to go ashore through the country of Sichuan, and then walk to the base of the country of rain. The country of rain and the country of thunder will traverse several countries. This time, letting Wang Li go is a test of his ability. But when he heard the word by boat, Wang Li trembled all over. Can that go by land? I think it is better to let Wang Li-kun go by land. Traveling by land will be a lot slower than by water, and going through several countries will be a lot more troublesome. However, when Uchiha Obito has spoken, Yahiko will naturally not refuse. After all, Uchiha Obito's strength Yahiko is very clear. So are the others free. For a while everyone shook their heads, and it was Kakuzu who stood out first. Why don't I go over? Wang Li's eyebrows wrinkled, and I don't know what other people say. This Kakuzu must have been aimed at his own eyes or offered a reward. If Kakuzu comes, not only must be careful of the ninjas of Thunder Country, but also the shurikens that fly from Kakuzu 800 miles. Kakuzu, you should continue to find Orochimaru, Lei no Kuni will let me and Kisame go. Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Itachi suddenly jumped out to Yahiko's expectation, but also to Yahiko's expectation. Uchiha Itachi slaughtered the entire Uchiha clan alone, leaving only Uchiha Sasuke. It's definitely a cruel existence. Yahiko is now considering whether Uchiha Itachi will kill Wang Li because of those eyes. Itachi, you. Yahiko was about to speak when he was interrupted by a burst of ecstasy. It would be the best if Senior Itachi came to help. Uchiha Itachi looked at Uchiha Obito with solemn eyes, and did not continue to say a second word. Yahiko knew that Uchiha Itachi slaughtered the Uchiha clan, but did not know that Uchiha Obito was also involved at that time. Now Yu Chiba and Obito are supervising a few people on the side, and Yahiko is particularly relieved. Then we will gather in the Land of Thunder. Wang Li and Uchiha Obito came to the Land of Thunder. There are mountains everywhere in the Kingdom of Thunder, and thunder is constantly thundering in the sky. The Thunder King Li Kun has been here. Wang Li shook his head slightly. Although it was the first time to come to the Kingdom of Thunder, Wang Li knew very well about the Kingdom of Thunder. Whether it is the high-end combat power of the Thunder Country, or the Cloud Raikage, or the goal this time, Eight Tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee. But Wang Li was not prepared to say more. Wang Like is going to stay in Thunder Country for a while and learn a little ninjutsu. After all, lightning style is Wang Li's main ninjutsu, and Thunder Country is basically ninjutsu. Especially the lightning style armor of Raikage Eye. If you learn it stealthily, Wang Li's physical skills can be improved by flying. But getting in touch with Raikage is not a simple matter. Just as Wang Li and Uchiha Obito were rushing to the road, suddenly a shark bit towards Wang Li. Wang Li frowned and quickly avoided. But the sharks didn't stop because of this. Sharks kept biting towards Wang Li. Ding dong. Identify ninjutsu, water style, water mackerel technique. The corner of Wang Li's mouth rose slightly. This ninjutsu Wang Li had long wanted to learn it, not because of how powerful he was, but because he could fly with water mackerel bombs. Suddenly, Wang Li's hands quickly knotted the seal, and a shark made of water jumped out from the side and swallowed Wang Li in one bite. The shark led Wang Li to wiggle his body constantly, and the entire sky of the Buddha was like an ocean, swimming constantly. When Wang Li flew into the air, he finally saw the enemy this time. Hoshigaki Kisame. Wang Li gave a wry smile. He suspected it was her at first, but now it is. And Uchiha Itachi is on the sidelines and has no intention of doing anything. Boy, I didn't expect you to do this ninjutsu. I think I just learned it, just like copying Ninja Kakashi. Copy, but he didn't see me Jayan at all. Forget it, just beat him. Hoshigaki Kisame gave a smirk, dropped the robe on his body, and began to seal seriously. Wang Li smiled slightly. Hoshigaki Kisame is one of the few ninjas who still earnestly take the seal in the later stage. Unlike other ninjas, they leave with a slap of ninjutsu with one hand. I saw a huge shark jumped up from Hoshigaki Kisame, and swiftly bit towards Wang Li. Ding dong. Recognizing ninjutsu, water style, great shark ball technique. Wang Li quickly sealed his hands again, and a huge shark also appeared behind him and bit out. The two sharks collided with each other. Hoshigaki Kisami's mackerel bomb technique was directly hit by the shark, while Wang Li's big shark bit straight towards Hoshigaki Kisame. How is it possible? Why can his big shark bullet technique suppress me? Uchiha Itachi frowned, then opened Sharingan directly. His chakra is different from yours. It looks a bit like a fairy, but it's not. If that's the case, then I'll fight it. Hoshigaki Kisame snorted, and then a small shark appeared beside him. Then Hoshigaki Kisame stepped directly on it, took out Samahata and rushed towards Wang Li quickly. At this time, Wang Li closed his eyes and paused where he was not knowing what he was doing. The kid wants to shame me. Hoshigaki Kisame smiled disapprovingly, and then drove the small shark, spinning around Wang Li. After turning around 5 or 6 times, Wang Li still had no response, and then went around behind Wang Li and cut it with Samahata. It's done. Kisame run. Although I don't know why Uchiha Itachi let himself retreat, I still choose to believe it unconditionally. At this moment, Wang Li suddenly opened his eyes, and a blood stream came out of his eye sockets. A black flame burned directly on Hoshigaki Kisami's arm. How the hell did he know that I was behind him, and this flame is not the flame of Itachi? Wang Li lifted his own Liuhai with his hands, revealing Byakugan. Because I have Byakugan, there is no difference between opening my eyes and closing my eyes after this. Is Kisame-senpai playing enough? As Wang Li said, all the black flames on Hoshigaki Kisami's arm flew toward Wang Li's eyes. After a while, all the black flames disappeared, and Hoshigaki Kisame also put away the fighting posture. Wang Li knew very well that Hoshigaki Kisame was just trying to try his skills. Otherwise, Hoshigaki Kisame and Samahata are fused together, and that is the complete body of Hoshigaki Kisame. Hoshigaki Kisame rubbed his nose and laughed. Boy, you are very strong, much better than the last time I saw you. What I am more interested in is how you learned how to grow so fast. This is a secret. Wang Li gave a smirk, and then drove the little shark to land. As soon as Wang Li landed, Uchiha Itachi came to Wang Li and looked at Wang Li seriously. Wang Li didn't dare to look at Uchiha Itachi for fear of being hit by his illusion. Boy, come with me. Okay. Wang Li nodded and was about to leave. Suddenly Uchiha Obito walked over. Ah, Senior Itachi is very happy to see you. I don't know if you are going to talk to Wang Li-kun, can you let me listen to it? Uchiha Itachi frowned suddenly, and looked at Uchiha Obito with fear. This is a matter between Wang Li and I. Do you have to mix it up? Well, you say I don't listen. Uchiha Obito kept shaking his hands, and kept moving back. Uchiha Obito left, but Uchiha Itachi's frowning eyebrows did not loosen. Boy, use Byakugan to see, is anyone nearby? Wang Li nodded slightly and immediately turned on Byakugan. There seems to be someone under the rock over there. Uchiha Itachi nodded, then appeared next to the stone in an instant. Fire style. Great fireball technique. Ah, Itachi is me. Don't burn it. White Zetsu, watch me next time, it won't be that simple. Okay, I'll go. When White Zetsu left, Uchiha Itachi was finally relieved. Why did you leave Konoha? Reason. The world is so big I want to come out and see. Uchiha Itachi furrowed his eyebrows directly, and a murderous intent instantly wrapped Wang Li in it. Others may not know, but Wang Li knows very well. Uchiha Itachi has always had a peace-loving heart in his heart because he watched the Third Ninja War. Although he killed the entire Uchiha clan at the time, it was also unreasonable. Even if he didn't do it himself, Konoha would never spare the Uchiha clan. But even so, when it was the turn of Uchiha Itachi's parents, he couldn't get his hands down, and tears shed in his eyes. Fortunately, Uchiha Fugaku was enlightened and chose to commit suicide. And Uchiha Itachi's lover was also killed by Uchiha Obito in that massacre. Just to stop wars. Feeling the dangerous breath, Wang Li shook his hands quickly. Wait, Itachi, I just made a joke. In fact, the reason I left Konoha is very simple. That is, the world is no longer peaceful, and I have to do something to deal with this catastrophe. Wang Li didn't dare to conceal any more, but the key point was still to keep the mystery. No more peace. Are you talking about the Akatsuki organization? Although Uchiha Itachi is in the Akatsuki organization, he has always been concerned about Konoha's affairs. Otherwise, Third Hokage would die, and Uchiha Itachi would appear for the first time. Yes, Akatsuki has a big plan. I can't face it with you, so I went to Kurigakure to pull a big ally for Konoha. Uchiha Itachi thought about it, and then his murderous aura returned. The Akatsuki organization has been collecting information on the tail beasts. If it is really like they said, collecting the 9 tail beasts together would be a bit difficult to deal with. Uchiha Itachi is very careful about everything. For example, when he joined Akatsuki's organization, he performed prefabricated illusions on everyone. As long as someone attacks Uchiha Itachi, the illusion will be triggered. But now that he even said this to Wang Li, he had obviously relaxed his vigilance against Wang Li. Yes, I wanted to hide 3 tails completely after going to the water country, but who knew that guy showed up? Wang Li said, taking a look at Uchiha Obito. Alfie is indeed a dangerous person. It's better to keep a little distance from him. But Pain asked him to team up with you, obviously because of his fear of you. Wang Li gave a wry smile, and Uchiha Obito killed Uchiha Itachi's lover Uchiha Izumi. To say that Uchiha Itachi doesn't hold any hate at all, and he doesn't believe anything about Wang Li. And Wang Li injured Conan at the time. If Nagato had no idea of revenge, he would be sorry for his skinny body. Well, if you don't go back, that kid Afei is going to be suspicious, let's go back, as if nothing happened. Wang Li nodded his head slightly. Uchiha Obito was great, he knew better than Uchiha Itachi. The current strength to anger Uchiha Obito is undoubtedly looking for death. He adjusted his expression and followed Uchiha Itachi back. Hey, Wang Li-kun, what did you guys say? Let me listen. Seeing Wang Li's return, Uchiha Obito hurriedly leaned forward and kept turning around Wang Li. We are discussing how to stop your mouth. If it doesn't work, we can only kill you. Uchiha Obito was taken aback, and then he backed up a few steps before stopping. We are companions, how can you have such dangerous thoughts? Wang Li smiled slightly. If Uchiha Obito continues to speak with Alfie's personal settings, it means that there is nothing wrong with it. If the voice suddenly becomes cold, it means that he has ignited a murderous aura, and he must be ready to escape at any time. Well, don't talk nonsense, let's talk about the plan this time. Uchiha Obito glanced at Wang Li with lingering fear, then took out a scroll from behind him, and carefully handed it to Wang Li. We got information that Eight Tails was on Raikage's younger brother Killer Bee. We have to figure out a way to trick him out of Cloud Shinobi Village, and then capture him. Wang Li nodded slightly. Killer Bee is not Raikage's real brother, but their relationship is better than their brothers. If you do it in Cloud Shinobi Village, you will definitely alarm Raikage. At that time, even if his strength is amazing, but surrounded by ninjas in a village, it will be difficult to escape. Unless Nagato is such a pervert. Use a bag of rice technique to blow up the entire Cloud Shinobi Village. Then you have to rely on the person who leads Killer Bee. Uchiha Obito said, and then moved his gaze to Wang Li. Wang Li was stunned for a moment, then smiled bitterly. It stands to reason that the most suitable candidate is definitely Uchiha Obito. Even if someone finds out, you can evade the attack smoothly when you use the Kamui space. But obviously Uchiha Obito will not admit it. Then the next second candidate is Wang Li. Wang Li has the Fei Lei breaking technique, and he can also leave by relying on the Fei Lei breaking technique. Wang Li didn't mean to refuse either. At the beginning, I was thinking about how to get rid of a few people and steal some ninjutsu from Cloud Shinobi Village by myself. Now that it has been proposed, Wang Li will naturally do his part. I can go in, but what is my advantage? What can you do to help? You know, Raikage has been coveting my Byakugan for a long time. As the saying goes, if you don't have any benefits, you can't afford to go first. Since you want to let yourself go, you must have enough benefits. You can't let yourself generate electricity with love. Although we can't be the master, but if it succeeds, when smoking Eight Tails chakra, let you be the first one. Wang Libai glanced at him. It was no different than saying, but there was still a hint of joy on his face. Wang Li, you go, we will support you at any time if there is a problem. Uchiha Itachi said seriously. Wang Li nodded slightly, and then his hands kept forming a seal, and the kuwu on his mouth instantly turned golden. Then Wang Li directly threw kuwu on the ground. Give me a few days and I will bring Killer Bee here. Let me just say, Wang Li-kun will definitely agree. Wang Libai glanced at Uchiha Obito, then ran directly towards Cloud Shinobi Village. Cloud Shinobi Village is not a good person. It was the ninja of Cloud Shinobi Village who kidnapped Hyuga Hinata. At that time, because Konoha Village was weak and didn't want to cause a war between the two countries, Hyuga Hazashi, who was killed in the end, died. Because of this, the branch house of the Hyuga family has always been sealed with caged bird. Until Hyuga Neji died, he wanted to become Hokage and solve the grievances between the clan family and the branch house. Wang Li sneered. Hyuga Hinata is so cute that he even wants to kidnap her and gouge her eyes. It seems that we must find an opportunity to let the people of Cloud Shinobi Village remember. I'm coming to Cloud Shinobi Village. Cloud Shinobi Village is not as tightly guarded as expected. Except for a few ninjas patrolling at the gate of the village, there is no one anywhere else. Wang Li relied on the water mackerel technique to swim directly over the surrounding wall. At the moment of landing, Wang Li immediately used the transformation technique. After all, his eyes are too conspicuous. Although they are blocked by the sea, they only need to be discovered by others, which is absolutely endless pursuit. And Akatsuki's big raincoat was also very conspicuous, and it was easy to be spotted as long as he passed by. After performing the transformation technique, Wang Lizin felt a little relieved. As long as you don't encounter Anbu, which is specially investigated, there is basically no accident. The next thing Wang Li has to do is to find Killer Bee. Although I have seen Hokage and know Hokage very well, looking for someone in a village is like looking for a needle in a haystack. Fortunately, Killer Bee is also a small celebrity. Brother, do you know where Lord Killer Bee is? Since he couldn't find it on his own, Wang Li simply asked the passerby. The passerby first glanced at Wang Li in confusion, and after looking up and down, his eyebrows wrinkled. How long have you been on the mission? Don't even Master Killer Bee know? Wang Li coughed awkwardly. He seemed to be very famous. Yo, this young man seems to be looking for me. Wang Li was taken aback at once. Just now I was wondering why passers-by looked at me with such suspicion, and the emotion Killer Bee was by his side. This is really easy to doubt. And Killer Bee suddenly appeared, instantly disrupting Wang Li's thoughts. I forgot all of the rhetoric I had originally thought of. Yes. 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 Yo, you kid, the way you talk seems a bit strange. Killer Bee said in a hip-hop way, much more annoying than Alfie. Master Killer Bee uses 7 knives at the same time. I want to try how strong Master Killer Bee is. Since Wang Li had forgotten his words, he simply stopped recollecting and challenged him directly. After all, people like Cloud Shinobi Village have muscles in their brains, and the possibility of rejection is very small. Yo, if you want to challenge me, you must first keep up with my rhythm. The corner of Wang Li's mouth twitched, and he still had to learn his hip-hop if he wanted to challenge him. Wang Li snorted and took out Kuwu directly. There were flashes of thunder on his body. Killer Bee's eyes suddenly became serious, but only a moment later returned to her usual style. In today's situation, I don't accept the challenge. If I need a challenge, I will meet here at this time in 3 days. Good. Wang Li sighed. To be honest, Wang Li is not ready for the battle yet. In order not to expose himself, he must use various lightning styles to fight. But Wang Li just arrived at Cloud Shinobi Village, and he didn't steal a piece of ninjutsu. Fighting against a master like Killer Bee lacks variability and is easily suppressed. After all, Killer Bee alone can beat the Eagles. Well, we will meet here in 3 days. Watching Killer Bee leave, Wang Li also breathed a sigh of relief. Since the appointment had been made to meet in 3 days, Wang Li didn't bother to follow him and kill him. After all, it's easier to expose yourself and make Anbu detect the problem. As for Uchiha Obito and others, let them wait. When Wang Li came to the hotel, Wang Li realized what a wonderful thing it is to have money. Put the money on the table and book the best room directly. At this moment, Wang Li finally felt the happiness of the rich. The room is like a presidential suite in a 5-star hotel. Lying on the bed, I feel my body and mind are completely relaxed. However, after Wang Li lay down, he immediately felt several lines of sight watching him. Wang Li gave a wry smile. When facing Killer Bee just now, it was too direct, and Anbu's attention was immediately drawn. But Wang Li didn't care too much. After all, there was no actual conflict. Wang Li seemed to be lying on the bed comfortably, resting his eyes closed. In fact, Wang Li secretly opened Byakugan and kept observing the number and location of the surrounding Anbu. 3 people. I didn't expect to pay such attention to it. But you guys just watch it, I'll sleep first. Wang Li doesn't want to confront Cloud Shinobi Village Anbu yet, so it's better to just take a rest. Early the next morning, Wang Li stretched out and got up lazily from the bed. Since coming to the ninja world, Wang Li hasn't had a good rest at all. Unexpectedly, I slept beautifully in Thunder Country. Wang Li turned on Byakugan again and found that there was only 1 person left in Anbu outside, and even if he was the last person, he was a fool and had no intention of working hard. Wang Li hurriedly put away Byakugan, taking advantage of Anbu's carelessness, immediately left a shadow clone in the room. Wang Li's body immediately used the transformation technique to transform into a waterless moon orange. Then he left the hotel quickly. The size of an orange should be this, but this transformation technique is really powerful, even here it has become so flexible. Then Wang Li hurriedly shook his head, feeling that as long as he opened the door of New World, he would be completely decadent next. Complete the mission to complete the mission. Wang Li's task today is not Akatsuki's organization, but to take revenge on Cloud Shinobi Village. After all, it doesn't matter whether Akatsuki's mission is completed, the main thing is to retaliate for Hinata. The method of Wang Li's revenge was also very simple. That's how to blow him up. And this task first requires a large number of detonators. So a lot of detonating charms, you have to go to the store to buy. Wang Li found a corner and displayed Shadow Clone, then divided the money and went to the store to buy in batches. And the store you go to cannot be fixed. Distribute, buy in the entire Cloud Shinobi Village, and store in batches and time periods. Even if he did that, Wang Li was still worried about being discovered. Because the number of detonators purchased is too large. Therefore, Wang Li can only make a quick battle and hide it before Cloud Shinobi Village Anbu has found it. After spending a whole day, Wang Li bought nearly 10,000 detonating charms. One detonating talisman is nearly 1,000, and 10,000 is more than 10 million. Wang Li's savings of tens of millions have shrunk by half. But looking at the dense detonation charms, Wang Li's heart was full of presents. Now that the detonating talisman has been bought, the next step is to bury the detonating talisman, which is much harder than buying. And this time Wang Li had already thought about where to bury the detonating talisman. Schools, hospitals, major families, and mission halls. As for Raikage's office, Wang Li, an Anbu base, is really afraid to sell it. If it is discovered, everything will be lost. Girl over there, what are you doing there? I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.